Where we left off last time, you all found yourselves in the city of Hodheim, the dwarven capital. After exploring and being guided throughout the city, you all made your way to markets um, and uh, deep word words escape me churches. Um, and bars, etc. But ultimately, you found yourselves at a small orphanage towards the outskirts of the grand city within the mountain. And there you found a contact that you were so uh, told about. Um, if I could find my frickin' little thing, I could tell you exactly her name. Here it is. Wham. A woman by the name of Jenlyn Flintfall. Um, a historical name as far as the city goes, but kind of lost to memory due to their kind patronage towards orphan children. Entering in, you were met by a dwarf woman wielding a battle axe and yelling at you about something along the lines of that you will not take any of her children, you dirty bastards. You were able to disarm the situation, get her to calm down, and she informed you that recently a number of ne'er-do-wells had been arriving at her orphanage and trying to pick up some of the stronger children, some of the older teenage type children, to join them on their ship. And she suspected that they were slave traders, which is illegal in the city of Hodheim. However, she did know where they were, where they found themselves, and she gave you the location. You all went there, discovered that they were indeed as shitty as she had said, and a bar fight proceeded to break out.
It's a hell of a bar
However,
fight.
this was not just any bar fight. This was a magical bar fight, as fireballs and firewalls and snowstorms and nuclear radiation beamed about the room until ultimately all of these bad personages were dead.
We got the
It's
funk.
Safe to say that's the most complicated fight we've ever had, right?
As of yet.
Like there was a lot going on.
It was a lot more complicated than usual. Due to the fact that I actually started using magic users kind of more heavily on you all.
Sure.
Ultimately, though, as the fight came to an end, you had two captives that informed you a little bit about the ship that they all belonged on, and investigation about the tavern gave you the idea that whoever used to run this place had been kidnapped or killed. You all left off the night by trying to figure out what to do with these two persons before going about your business elsewhere in the city. So, the two of them are tied up in front of you.
On a zone of truth.
In a zone of truth, you all were bickering amongst yourselves on what to do with them. Whether it was death penalties, set them free, send them to jail, torture them.
Aye. Well. Let's see here. Alright, so currently the authorities are on their way. You can either deal with them or you can deal with us. Which would you prefer at this point? Riley directs the two guys.
I'm still behind him going,
Personally, I said I'd rather not hurt you, but I mean, it's up to you at this point.
They both kind of just look at each other and they go, I guess the authorities. I mean, we would rather be free, but it doesn't look to be that way if we go with you all.
That ain't happening.
Okay. I'm gonna go back over to the party. Alrighty. So honestly, we don't want the authorities involved in this one.
That
Why not?
and
Why?
line of reasoning still confuses me. I don't see why.
Okay. Put it this way. What are we after right now?
A ship.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
this.
Okay. So, if we want their ship, what happens if the
Murder.
authorities get involved?
Murder. Just kill him.
I don't think the dwarves have a concept of civil forfeiture. Can I? Well, actually, never mind, John. I'm just making shit up right now. Can I roll like a history check to understand how the dwarves would deal with this situation? Do they have civil forfeiture like we do, where if these guys committed a crime in Hodheim, it's now the property of the cops, or like is it kind of a more traditional D&D thing, and like we did them a favor, so they'd let us walk with the ship?
We'll roll a history check.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting a straight answer, but you know what I'm
Yeah.
wanting.
Oh boy.
There is such thing as civil forfeiture. Basically, they use it to pay off the court fees and to pay their military and things like that. In the case of this example, what would probably happen is that they would confiscate the ship under investigation due to the fact that it's a slave trading ship and probably has slaves on it. Which then makes it a property or a location of crime. Then they would take it, they would clean it, they would investigate it, punish the ne'er-do-wells, and then they have no use for it at that point, but they would sell it off because that makes the most sense.
Is with a 24, do I know if maybe I could use my cachet as a light bringer to say like, we did you a favor, take it as a bonus to diplomatic relationships, take the slaves, absolutely punish the guilty, but maybe forget this piece of evidence and let us have the ship earlier?
They probably would be okay with that. However, you would lose all the people on the ship because they would also be persons of a crime.
I'd rather have hardy dwarves than slaver scum.
Then
Yeah.
you're gonna have to run around and recruit a bunch of dwarves.
That sounds fun.
I think Beavis would say that he's willing to pick up the tab, honestly.
Yeah.
And I would turn to Riley and I would say, like, this isn't an attempt to curry favor against you. Like, it's your ship, but I don't want to work with them.
Nobody
You're
said you had to
muted.
work with them. You just had to work above them.
Yeah. I don't want my skin to crawl in our new home.
Pokemon also wouldn't be happy with getting the ships in a non-legal way.
What are you talking about? It's perfectly legal. I have the. What are you? What are you talking about? I've got the title right here.
The guy who had the title, so it's mine now. As far as I'm
Might
concerned,
meets right.
Anybody that was complicit in slavery, lock their ass up, let them rot. We can get us a new badass crew. I can pay the difference if nobody's willing to. You got an RP, right? Even I, Steven, would rather just shut the hell up, but Beavis doesn't want to.
Oh, no.
Leaves me broke.
No, I know
So we
this.
don't need to talk about it. We can just, subtract the money and everything else can be the same. But I would rather be broke than work with slavers.
That's a pretty hard line stance.
Yeah.
To be fair, though, I mean, basically one thing, you just need to think about on one end, Stephen, is if you fail on the persuasion rules for the authorities,
We have no ship.
you have no ship.
Yeah.
And then-
it's not just talking about a crew. You're talking about probably a 10,000 gold ship. Ish.
It's 15,000 on the sheet.
That's what I read. Okay, never mind. That's a lot of money. Beavis is not that idealistic.
Riley doesn't
I
have
would-
that
I
amount of
would
money.
say- I would stay hardline. I'm not willing to work with these two though, because they were the trusted core group. Maybe the rest of the guys were kind of gang pressed into it, but I'm not working with these two.
Shanghai.
Yeah, maybe they were Shanghai into it, but these
Here's
two are these two
something
are-
I just thought of. Maybe the like Eternal Sun could find a use for them. Like, say that we turn them into them. Say that they've done some wrong, and they're going to make amends. Something like that.
So
Like
like
turn them into someone who
indentured
isn't the authorities.
servitude until cleansing their
Indentured
their holy names, so to speak.
Yeah,
Hey,
right.
Matt.
I'm trying. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
Beavis is easily swayed by Thorgil. If you posit that and they either pay off their crimes or die trying, I'll shut up.
Oh yeah, that sounds like a great idea.
Okay, what would you say to that, Riley?
I'm okay with that as long as I can keep the boat. And I still stand good on my
Right, 'cause we
word.
did-
Works for
before
me.
now, we didn't know that you had the boat, and then you just showed us the deed.
You know, I do what I have to.
Beavis would pipe up and say, any particularly heinous crew members get tossed overboard.
I'll let you do it yourself, Beavis.
Okay.
No wait, who's the master? No wait, would that?
Whatever.
Whose job would be that?
That was
Like,
Beavis's
the
job.
master's job?
No, I'm
Sure.
the master at arms. It might be yours, Valken.
I
But if there's
think
we already
that'd be
set up-
mine. That's great.
yeah.
Some kind of
Master
screening
Grill,
process.
Yeah.
I just really
I'm saying,
wanted
like,
Are we gonna
Beavis.
do background checks?
I really just wanted to watch Beavis attempt to physically throw somebody off of a boat.
I'm saying, like, if John decides to throw some flavor in and, like, a random deckhand is like, man, I missed murdering slaves, like, he gets killed.
Well, one thing to keep in mind is that when you were speaking to the two guys in front of you, the two bound men, they mentioned that there were two names, a Xanath and a Gnarl,
Yeah. They
that
were
were
likely captain.
were against
The
the
slaving.
current methodology of the group that you pretty much just slew.
Yeah, so those
Um,
guys are fine.
So, but they were heavily respected by the crew.
Okay.
So, at least as far as things go, it's not far for anyone with an intelligence of a 12 or higher to recognize that they probably know everyone on the ship and who's worth trusting and keeping and who's the ones to kick off the ship.
So everybody, the shithead goes to the church, everybody else
Yeah,
is just...
Right.
So that sounds honestly like a win-win to me. We still need to go talk to him though at some point. And for that, I have an idea that you might just like Beavis.
And that would be...
In terms of size, how close is the captain to Beavis' size?
Oh, that's awesome.
You
Maybe
get where
like
I'm
a foot taller.
A halfling is taller than a gnome?
Yeah, gnomes are literally the smallest race.
But close
Shit,
enough that
okay.
from a distance you
next
wouldn't
to a
really.
kobold.
But close,
Even goblins are taller than gnomes.
We can put some blocks on his shoes.
but close
did not
enough,
realize
you
how
know,
little I
that at a
was.
distance it would look fine.
Well, yeah.
Minus the beard.
That's funny, but we'll probably burn some bridges if we do that, and they figure it out.
I just wanted to do it to get close.
No, that's hilarious. But it's not like they're gonna be on guard and draw swords at any old person who just walks up to the boat. It's
They
a public
ha-
dog. I
They
imagine.
have slaves.
Actually, wait. The Roll20 compendium says that like gnomes and halflings are like around the same size, but halflings average bigger. But it's canon that Beavis is really big for a gnome because he's got height issues. So I could be a small halfling.
Yeah, you could probably pull off a small halfling. a short
Like
halfling.
if I'm at
Lord.
the top end of size for gnomes, then I could be at like the medium to small size for halflings, right?
Would you like to try to compare yourself to the halfling corpse?
Please do. Please do.
But Beavis is not gonna lay down, so I'm gonna ask Valar to animate him briefly so he can stand up.
Riley will walk over, pick him
Or
up, and
pick
hold him
up,
next to
yeah.
you.
I have lost that capability, so I'll probably just like put on a jacket, and then like have his arms through the jacket, and so I'll just be like behind him, puppeting him or something.
That's way worse, but all right, that's fine.
That's all I can do.
And he's still Bella as a result of that action.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay.
So how tall am I next to this gnome then? Do I need to roll, or is this just like?
No. You realize I do want a perception roll. You realize that he is a little bit taller than you, like a noticeable little bit taller than you. However, as you're kind of looking, you realize that the only reason that he's taller than you is he's got platform shoes.
That,
I thought you were gonna say he was a tiny human.
No, he's got some go-go boots.
Alright, so let's turn these guys over to the Thorgil's people.
do the boots fit me?
We'll make it work.
Alright.
I strip down the corpse and take his clothes with us.
No, I want the boots. Beavis has an issue with his height.
I'm taking. Yeah, but Beavis doesn't want to wear dirty stuff. Let's be real here.
I can press to digitize them clean. I want to be this guy's height. I want those boots. Beavis is angry. He's never thought of it.
Yes, they do fit.
All right.
They fit quite well. You're approximately 2.5 inches taller now.
That's a lot
4
for a
foot.
gnome.
4 foot 2.5 inches. I cannot wait to go back to Gazneg.
Jesus.
You will
I just
tower
want
all
magic
over all
in
of them.
those.
You might actually have to duck through some doors.
Hell yeah.
Or come to eye level with some dwarves. Or,
Yeah.
like gut level with some dwarves.
Yeah,
I
how's he
have
compared to you,
pictured Beavis as,
Thorgil?
like my height compared. So I'm 6'5". I'm picturing Beavis as like whatever the 6'5" equivalent for gnomes is. So when he was growing up, he was huge, and then he got a big inferiority complex when he went out into the wider world.
Well, I mean, you did grow up around dwarves too, so it wasn't like.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. So the ultimate decision is to take the men to the church.
Yes, and we're taking the clothes of the captain.
Yeah.
Okay. Which god are you taking them to?
We're gonna take them
I
to Jatella.
suppose- No, not in the lava pit. No,
Throw 'em in the
not-
lava pit. They are sailors, and Jatella's overall good. I'm okay with that, honestly.
This is about protection.
I guess
Protect
Jatella
It's called
or
Terminator.
Mira,
Slowly- obviously,
the
Mira.
gods of justice.
I didn't hear any of that. Everybody was speaking at once.
Terminator.
Thorgil said to either go to Mira because she's the goddess of justice, or to go to I think it was Feta. Did you say? No, Jatella.
I
Because
think
she's
I
the-
said Feta. I said Jatella.
Let's go to Dila. Take a chance.
You could.
Why not?
You could just flip a coin.
No, as long as they don't get away scot-free, Beavis is happy, but I'm not going two-face on it. I don't want to be involved.
So Theta it is. Justice.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah, Feta works
Alright.
for me. As long as they're working for someone and repenting for their evil deeds.
Okay.
Convince them that they should work for the orphanage.
Oh,
So we'll fast forward a little bit. You take them down to the Temple of Theta. Valium, you have taken this trek before, because as you progress down, you actually go back to the Citadel. And as the rest of the group kind of takes a minute to try to figure out which door to go through in this Citadel region, you just keep staring at the door to Nala.
I would like to point in the direction of the Nala door, persuasively.
I just figure like,
You got to roll for that.
Okay. Persuasion. This is gonna be good, boys.
as he's got. Wow.
Oh,
Roll the
Yeah,
10.
that's not very good. You all readily recognize that the ambiance, the filigree around that door, that doesn't represent anyone good.
Totally killed the mood.
Particularly anyone that doesn't belong to tyranny and murder.
I would like to continue to point persuasively.
I don't think you win any favors with this one, Valium.
Yeah. A few moments later, though, you all do recognize the door to Theta, recognizing the sickle and the shield, and progress inward. There you speak to an acolyte and then a dwarven priest explaining the situation to them. And Thorgil, you flash your membership to the Eternal Sun,
Okay,
which
yeah.
which catches their attention.
I want to know now. You said you would know eventually. So who's the higher ranking between the two of us?
Well,
If you can see that, I don't know.
well,
the
so the way that it works, as far as
Yeah.
those things go, is that whatever your renown is might be different, but as far as ranks go, they go approximately every 5. So Thorgil, with your Eternal Sun, I think you are still a page. Am I correct?
Yeah. That's what I remember.
Okay. So you see that he is a page.
I don't think you ever told me what I am, though. I don't know.
You are also a page.
Oh, okay.
Guys, just another couple of things in a
Oh,
book.
Yeah, I also have this note or something from Bouvet Stormstalker from before we went out to kill all the undead.
Okay.
That said it would
That you would
be
probably want to
advancement
go
in
to
the Eternal Sun.
Jatella for, considering that Bouvet was
Okay.
also a Jatella worshipper.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll do that. later.
Okay. They kind of nod. They're a little bit wary about using them, but ultimately they figure that if nothing else, they can scoop up boar dung to work off their servitude. And they
how do I
figure
Works
that,
for me.
that for the rest of their life, that'll be a reasonable servitude. Ultimately, the protection of the city. Even the lowliest job protects the city. Thorgil, you returning back to the center room, find yourself looking in front of the porthole, the oculus to Jatella. You walk in, and almost immediately you step down into water. There seems to be a thin layer of water, maybe about 4 inches thick, that seems to be sitting throughout the entire chapel.
That's okay. No, that makes more sense.
It's about 4 inches.
Yeah, I was picturing the ruler, like, twice as big.
Right. It's something you haven't seen before, as far as things go, and taking a kind of a breath in as you step into the water, you realize that there's a smell of salt on the air. You immediately recognize that this water is actually salt water, that they've probably transported this water from the sea to the city, and placed it here, kind of like creating the entire room to be closer to Jatella herself.
Riley would like to wiggle his toes in the room.
Sure. Is anyone else going into the room? Just wondering for funsies' sake.
How high is this water, you said?
4
About
inches.
4 inches.
Bigger, higher
Oh,
than
no.
your new boots.
And now you have go-go boots.
Oh, I don't have my leather boots anymore. Are mine like, he's a captain, so they're like sort of waterproof, right?
Yeah, they're very waterproof.
Okay, yeah, I go in.
You would not be on a ship without waterproof boots.
Yeah, okay, then yeah,
Well, I
go
mean,
in.
I would be on a ship without
Oh,
waterproof boots,
man, I
but
don't
when
have
was the last
water
time you knew me to wear shoes?
Well, yeah, you wouldn't have boots. Yeah, I don't have freaking claws, and
So everyone goes in.
I have
Are
soft
we
little gnome feet.
dragging these prisoners with us?
You left the prisoners at the last church.
Okay. Then yeah.
No, it's just you guys.
I think Vulcan would want to stay in Amphida for a while. Like, he hasn't had the chance to pray quietly for a while.
Okay, so yeah, you stick behind
Exactly.
to kind of just give thanks and
Yeah.
recognition to your goddess and everything like that. Okay.
He has a lot in his mind right now.
So you go in and you recognize that basically the church is very similar to like any Christian church that anyone has ever been in. However, instead of wood, everything is made out of stone. due to the fact that nothing would be able to endure the salt water, the rust, and etc. that would be caused from this kind of situation. And oh, I forgot to say, Fex,
Yeah?
or Valken, in your church, the church actually had a warm smell to it, a smell of honey bread that seemed to permeate throughout the church. And they seem
Alright.
to also have kind of a running food process or line kind of thing, where basically they would like fill these large boxes full of bread and run them upstairs, probably to give to less fortunate persons, or they're making them for the military or things like that. But they basically have a giant bakery built right into the side of their temple.
I am definitely converting.
So they have a really nice honey bread in there, like multi-grain honey bread. Thorgil, you progress forward, sloshing through the water. You reach down and cup your hand into it, and let the water drizzle down your arm, and then you kind of lightly touch your head to your hand to your head, letting the water drip down your face, blinking the pain of the salt in your eyes away, and you walk up to what looks like an elderly woman. She's sitting on the steps. She's kind of not really paying attention. She's got her she's just kind of like sitting there, like hands on her knees, dangling from her neck is a symbol to Jatella. And as she hears you sloshing towards her, she looks up, and you can see that she is blind. She has cataracts. Her eyes are have that white glaze over them. But when she looks up, you get the sense that she sees you, even though she obviously can't. And she smiles and she goes, "Oh, hello there, Thorgil. Been a while since you've been in one of our churches."
Dun dun dun.
Would it be unusual for them to know? Just
Oh,
on
yeah.
appearance? Or like,
No.
are we famous?
No, not at all. Not that famous.
So, yeah, I'd take a step back, sort of in shock, and be like, have we met? I think I would remember you. No offense.
She shakes her head and she goes, "Oh gods, no. My name is Brit Va Stormrock. I am the caretaker of the church to Jatella in this place. However, as you so know, the goddess is of sea and storm, and you have much of the sea and the storm about you. I could smell you, smell the tinge change to the air as you walked in, the crackling of energy of your persona. It is a unique smell, and she has told me such."
What a shock.
We're not actually famous until level 11. Is that it? When like you're famous outside of wherever you are? 10? I don't know.
10's kind of a big deal.
10, basically, you become well known to the continent as a whole. If you went to like regions that you had been to before and like performed, great deeds, they would immediately recognize you, things like that. But you guys have kind of never gone back anywhere yet, so it's not something that has really played out.
So like if we went back to Winterguard, we'd be kind of a big deal because they would know 100% about like the fact of how much we did.
Yeah, and then
Right.
Balor and I can apparently fight pigs.
Yeah. I missed that week, so I'm just gonna say yeah, like I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, or like, the Ironwood, for example. The Watchers hideout, the city right outside Ironwood that you like saved, and then like, they had a huge celebration. Like they would view you as like the greatest heroes that their city's ever seen.
I was gonna say, I don't think the Ironwood was terribly happy with us, if I recall.
Well,
weren't
the elves were
The
okay
elves
with
weren't.
us.
Yeah.
It was just Latia and her group that
The
weren't.
Rangers.
Yeah.
Right,
They,
the Watchers hideout group.
Yeah, they were fine with us, but the Ironwood themselves, not so much.
Well, we
Well,
freed Latia, right? Wouldn't they be kind of happy she wasn't their neighbor anymore?
No,
Now she's everyone's neighbor.
no, we did something there. We did something bad there.
Yeah, she's now the Mr. Rogers of
We?
the woods.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
anyways,
I had no hand in that.
so back to the situation in front of you. Breitva just continues looking at you and kind of has a slight crooked smile, waiting for your response.
Yeah, she said something like she told her as such, or something. Is that right?
Yeah, basically that in some indication that she's heard her goddess.
You've heard from Jatella? I normally people look at me kind of funny when I say that she talked to me twice.
She nods and she goes, no, I haven't actually heard her voice ever. However, there's other ways to tell the intentions and will of our goddess. Knowing when a storm's coming. Knowing when a storm will break. Detecting the rise and fall of waves. The direction of a lightning strike. In this case,
Beavis pulls out a lightning rod.
yeah. She kind of pauses. She goes, it was only a matter of time before you found yourselves here and found yourselves seeking to return back to the sea.
I we have a rather unusual purpose for it this time, though. We're searching for Jatella herself. If that doesn't sound too crazy.
You see her frown, her wrinkled, her hair is fairly gray overall, and it kind of hangs loosely about her. But she frowns in her large bushy eyebrows at you, and she goes, well, I figure you're speaking more realistic than a metaphor in this case. That is quite the task that you were on. That hasn't been done since the steps were whole.
The steps, like the
Would you like to roll a history check for the dwarves? I will give you advantage considering it is directly related to your race.
Can those of us listening do it without
sure,
advantage?
I'll do that.
Absolutely. Beavis, you could do it with you could roll it, but
Hey.
probably no one actually Falcon, you would know something about this, so you could roll it.
I wasn't there.
Oh, you're not there, so you don't know. But the rest, no one else would really know this. The dwarves
Normal,
are too
not
secretive.
disadvantage.
Yeah, just normal for you.
Oh, well, Thorgal did really well, so I was wasting my breath.
So you both recognize this. There is a story about how the mountain that you all are under right now, the Broken Mountain, actually had a set of steps that went up into the celestial plane. However, at a point that the gods became mad at the beings of this earth, they shattered those steps. the stones cracking and falling down all over the mountain and shattering the mountain itself, hence why it is broken. The mountain dwarves have always felt that it is their task, their heritage, to protect those steps in case the gods ever deem it necessary to have them rebuilt, at which point the dwarves will go about assisting the gods in rebuilding it, for they are the best forgers. The hill dwarves, however, viewed this as basically a slight upon their race that they needed to make up. So they journeyed out into the land, ultimately finding themselves in Gaznek as a way to basically kind of the exiled from Eden concept, that they weren't worthy to be near those steps. Hence why the dwarves are separate and still yet competitive.
Yeah, I'm aware of just how difficult it seems to be, but if we're ever to be worthy of rebuilding the steps, difficult tasks must be undertaken, I think. But that is neither here nor there. I came to present this, and I would offer the note that Vouvet gave me, and sort of explain all that happened since we left Winterguard up until we defeated the undead
Okay.
scourge. I wouldn't mention our encounter with Yokeg.
She nods as she takes it, and she kind of holds it, and she slowly starts to drag her hand across the page, almost checking it for almost like a braille kind of feeling. And she ultimately she nods and she goes, I recognize the purpose of this letter. Thorgil, are you saying that you have done the task there written?
It was not easy, but together we prevailed
Oh, enough
and
never
defeated
is.
the undead.
Hold on. Did they just give a blind woman a letter?
Yep.
And she reacted just fine. Okay.
Well, she kind of read it by touching, like running her fingers across it. In some way, she was able to read it
It's
by
magic.
touching the words.
It's a magic
Alright.
letter.
It's a magic letter.
God damn it.
Really,
She just has clairvoyance set up all the time. It's fine.
For all persons wondering, she's a divination cleric, so
Ooh.
that's why she's able to detect things like
Interesting.
Thorgil's name and shit like that. Like, that's kind of her jam.
do you need to roll for stuff like that, or if I was a divination player, could I just know stuff?
No, she does rolls, but for me, hand waving, she's at such a high level as a cleric that it's just it's gonna happen.
Oh, okay. But if a player played that, okay.
She
Yeah.
also has luck dice.
She nods and she goes, this implies that I should give you something in return. And she reaches down into her, you see that she has this little kind of fanny pack pouch on the side of her hip. And she unclasps the latch and pulls out a small topaz, no, amber, and hands it to you, Thorgil. She goes, I hope that this amber will assist you, though I do not know how. That is beyond me at this point. Where you go, there will be great storms.
There always are, but that's why I set on this path in the first place. Thank you very much. I'm honored. And I would take the amber.
Yep. You see that this amber actually is large enough or small enough, and shaped in a way that it will fit into your Eternal Sun necklace. It would bestow upon you a renown 5, access to the rank of acolyte.
Cool.
Rex facts.
I wanna whisper up to Bala like he's so cool.
Wait,
At
whisper?
this point, basically, as with Nate and his advancement to Shadow, you can call upon assistance from lesser ranked, i.e., page members, tasking them with
Hey, i.e.
orders.
Falcon.
Yeah, you can kind of outrank him now. If push really comes to shove, you could kind of shove him in a direction at this point with your rank. But obviously, the flip side is that the ranks above you will expect more of you in the future. So if they notice that you're an acolyte, you will probably be called on more versus the
Okay.
lowly page. She looks at you after you fit it into your amulet, and she goes, "Begone! There is no point to you being here anymore. I feel that your trip to the sea is long overdue."
Riley files out of the room last, enjoying the water between his toes.
Indeed.
Okay.
Okay, what do you all do now?
Let's meet our new crew, I guess.
Well, I
Yeah,
believe we've
good
got a
luck.
ship to go talk to. Beavis, put this on. And I put the hat, the tricorn, on Beavis's head.
I mean, I'm not gonna stop you.
Oh, I know
just
you-
want to sell cats.
I know you won't.
Okay. So Beavis, you put on the tricorn, affix it appropriately.
Did the halfling have like a roguish beard or something?
He did have a goatee and the twirly mustache.
Okay, I'll get like out. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna magic it. I'm just gonna straight up get out like some charcoal or something and do my best to kind of It doesn't look good.
Okay, I was gonna say.
It doesn't look good. Maybe if you were far and like you were afraid of the captain, so you didn't want to question it, you would be tricked. But it doesn't look good.
Okey-doke.
Beavis is bad at things. that's the running joke here. I don't think that's a surprise.
Close enough.
But I have scary looking people with me, right? And the captain was unpredictable, so maybe they'll shut up and just go with it.
Alrighty. You all head down to the dock area.
Wait, Riley, do you share your plan with me before we get to the boat? Because I still have no idea what you want me to do.
Yes. And I forgot to write down what my plan was. I had a plan. Like I had this whole elaborate plan laid out like the last couple of days, and I forgot to write it down.
Is this
Oh,
same
no.
character?
Yeah, I should've wrote down.
Zach, forget the plan.
Zach forgot the plan.
Okay.
From what I remember, the parts of it were Beavis is disguised as the captain. The rest of us kind of walk up behind Beavis. Beavis walks up, starts doing Beavis things, probably assuming that he's in charge, running his mouth, yada yada yada. And after everyone starts to, slow, kind of get off, a little off foot. I mean, this is the part that Riley's not going to tell Beavis, but things, pretty much just let Beavis be Beavis.
So you're asking me to show up, be the center of attention, and domineer this crew?
I'm just going to put the hat on your head and just tell you to be Beavis.
Same thing. Okay, I can do that. Just turn my knob and send me running.
Pretty much. I figure Beavis at any point in time is going to make a fool out of himself by just running his mouth enough.
Yeah.
Okay. You all make your way back towards the dock area, searching around for the ship that holds the name on the writ of ownership that Riley has. And towards the end of the dock, you finally see it. It's pretty ratty looking. The ship definitely shows the signs of wear and age. I'm also assuming that at some point someone grabbed Vex, so he's not still praying.
Oh,
No,
no.
we just left him there. It's more fun that way.
But yeah, you all make your way down to the dock areas, and you can see that there's weird splotches occasionally on the sides, which as you get nearer, you realize that it's newer wood that has been patched in the sides of the ship. This ship has definitely seen naval warfare occasionally in its time out on the sea, as is the case. I mean, pirating is a thing. But on the butt of the ship, you see the words "straight and narrow" as the ship's name.
Was that you or Zach?
Zach.
Good job. That's a solid ass ship name.
Especially for
That's
one
good.
holding slaves.
Yeah.
There is a gangplank leading down to the dock, readily accessible, as they're probably still expecting the captain and his main crew to show. There are a number of persons running about the ship, taking care of cleaning and whatnot. And you see two figures that seem to be running the majority of it. One, a fairly tall man wearing a leather jerkin of sorts, and from what you can see hanging from his hip is a long curved scimitar and a dagger. He seems to be running the majority of the shouting commands, but you notice that there's a figure that kind of walks quietly behind him, a dark elf, and she occasionally leans forward and seems to whisper something in his ear. You see that she's wearing what seems to be robes, these long, loose pieces of clothing that drape down her body, that are tied with a cord, in greens and purples and blues, colors of the sea, essentially. And you can see that the sides of her head are shaved, and the top is pulled back in almost like a mohawk, except for it has a weave to it with bits of beads and jewelry tied into it, and eventually, like towards the back, it kind of falls loose down to her shoulders in kind of a dreadlock-y fashion. What do you all do?
I stride confidently towards the ship.
As
and
Beavis
rest
does.
on the pommel of the captain's sword.
I guess I'll be right behind him.
As we get closer, I turn to Valken and I imperiously command kneel, and he does nothing.
Nope.
Okay. So I look kind of sad, and I turn and I stride towards the ship and I say, "Behold!" And I wait and see if they notice.
You catch the eye of two or three of the ship hands, and one of them goes, "Oi, what you want?"
Do they not think I'm the captain?
Not at
Just
all.
say I am the captain now.
Okay. No. Beavis has no idea that there's a chance he would have failed. I'm gonna stand up straighter and like stroke my fake goatee and say, "Behold." Did they do anything different?
You now have like 3 or 4 more because like a couple of them are like calling like other deckhands over to like take a look at like who this fellow is, and finally one of them goes, "And who the hell do you think you are?"
Okay, it's not working. Rally, come on.
Alright,
just
okay.
show 'em the thing.
Okay, I would like to
I am
apologize.
the captain now.
I would like to
I am
apologize
the
first off
captain.
because
I'm not
most
gonna
of that
do
was
it,
because
but
it was
Beavis is
perfect
doing it.
opportunity for Beavis to make a fool of himself.
No, I had a whole thing prepared, and I'm not gonna waste our time. But Beavis is still doing it, so he's got a big speech, and he's still going.
I'm getting super confused.
Riley would usher him to make his speech on the boat. How about that?
All right.
Okay, so you're all advancing up the
Yeah.
gangplank.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And,
You see that this leathered man and this robed woman kind of are standing there. You see that she crosses her arms, and then almost subconsciously the man in front of her crosses his arms as you approach the ship. Both of them have an eyebrow raised at you, like, what the fuck is? Because Beavis
wait.
is still talking.
At
if you want
us
to
or just
fill the blank.
at us or just Beavis?
Primarily Beavis. You all recognize, well, some of you recognize that they understand the danger of many personages here, particularly the Goliath person that's walking behind them. But they're like, what the fuck? Like,
it's so weird.
who's the
No,
more
I
foolish, the
rolled
fool
mine
or the
up.
ones that follow him? Kind of.
I
thing.
slowly realize nobody believes me, and I very sadly wipe off the goatee and say, "You guys are no fun," and I sulk in the background.
Yeah, you're basically, you have like about a 5-foot gap before you actually are on this ship, and you're kind of staring down these 2 personages, and probably about 10 other crew members.
So let's start things off here. Well, ahoy there. Right, I'm trying to draw on my knowledge of the fact that I'm from Stolt, so ship speak.
Before
Sure.
I sulk, I hand you the hat, though. You
No,
have
no,
the
no, no.
hat.
You just Beavis can keep wearing the hat.
Oh, all right, cool.
I'm just gonna let you just keep doing the Beavis thing, whatever it is
Alright.
Beavis is doing. Hello there, Riley Williams here. So it would appear that I am the proud new owner of this fine vessel. As I pull out the title for or whatever the piece of paper is for the boat, briefly, and then put it back in a pocket of sorts. Kind of just do the quick flash and then.
Right, yeah. I'm a member of the FBI. Well,
Yeah,
you know.
pretty much.
The human man and the dark elf female kind of just like, raise their eyes, and like they kind of like, now both eyes are raised, but now it's like more incredulity than anything else. They're like, right, sure you are, like, and finally goes, oh well, dear Captain, I am so sorry to have not understood your magnificence. Please come onto our ship. No, I'm so sorry. Your ship. And tell us what it is that you so want.
I don't like this ship anymore. I want a new one. The ship says they're gonna murder me, 100%.
I'm rolling insight just because
I'll do
sarcasm.
an inside check on that too.
I
Oh,
think
that sounds good. Let's go aboard, boys.
You're confused.
There's definitely sarcasm to it. It doesn't seem to be with any threat to it yet, though. More like they're entertaining a crazy person for the fun of all of the crew on board, more than we're gonna kill you.
Little do they know how crazy
Probably
we
he
actually
thinks that
are.
if you're crazy, he's just tossing you over the other side of the ship into the water.
I mean, he can do that. I can swim.
Right. But like
We are-
that's
like,
kind
we're
of where
scary
they're
looking,
standing
right?
right
I mean-
now. Is
Not Beavis, but everybody else is kind of scary looking, right?
yeah. That's why
Yeah.
he's kind of giving it a little bit more birth, but he wants you on like his ship, you know, like with
Oh.
his crew, you know, kind of thing. Like it's like, go ahead, walk onto my property.
Because
And that's
realistically,
the
every other character is threatening as hell. I look
Yeah.
ridiculous, but yeah, they all are scary.
Except for maybe Ben.
Falcon has the puppy dog look in his eye, just.
I mean, I have a. My character has what he thinks is a very scary looking armor.
Yeah.
How much that is scary, I don't know. How much it comes out of juvenile, but
Even
you
even
can't
if
see my eyes.
you've got to be like 400 pounds in armor. You're a scary person.
Yeah.
It's not
It's just
that
a little
you
excessive.
have
Is all.
red painted horn tips. It's the fact that there are horns on a 400-pound being of meat.
Yeah.
That's more the danger and threat level involved with you. But yeah, you seem to be invited onto the ship in some fashion.
Riley steps up.
Some of the crew step aside.
Riley walks up.
Okay. You step onto the planks. Nothing happens. I assume the rest of you all board the ship.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So once you're all in the ship, the man looks at you and he goes, "So what the hell's really going on? And why do you have the captain's saber and tricorn?"
Well, one, my friend here actually really likes them. He's kind of an eccentric fellow. Two, it is as I said. We got into a little bit of a disagreement with your captain, and I'm the one that ended up with the ship.
He was very rude.
I am the captain.
And then I'd repeat, he was very rude.
This is how we die. I hope you know this.
He nods and he goes, "So I assume that all of the captain and the officers are gone?"
Enough of them. There's like
Of them.
He turns.
Nobody
briefly
that'll be
and looks
called-
over his shoulder to the dark elf woman and kind of does a look, and then looks back at you and he goes, "Let me see that writ again."
I'm assuming I need an insight check to see if I feel like he's going to do any any like destruction to the writ at all.
Sure.
Oh!
Because
Holy
I really
shit.
think we need someone else to do that.
You don't even know if he's alive or not. You might be talking to the mast.
He seems 100% honest. You are very persuasive.
Oh, can I also
Can
check
I?
sarcasm?
Sure. You see that there's a genuine interest to see if the writ is real. He actually does want to see it.
I hand him the writ. Not like I gave anyone else any time. You know, they could be all
Sure.
Judgmental
Yeah,
as
they're
whatnot.
like,
I'm just.
and you just like here. He takes it and he looks over it, and then he does like kind of these like, huh. And then he hands it behind to the dark elf woman.
Yeah,
This
the
is the
captain
first
now.
time that you've seen her move her hands at all as she takes it and plucks it and kind of flaps it and then folds and looks.
You mean anything other than her eyebrows?
Yeah. And she doesn't move and she just seems to fold it and then she tucks it down her robes and she leans forward and whispers and he goes, "Looks like we're the captain now."
Called it!
Alright. I mean, you could claim whatever
So-
you want there. But let's be real here. My friends and I just took out the rest of everyone else.
And I've read the rules. We only need to
That
fight
sounds
the
like
main
an
No,
invasion.
right.
I read the rules.
Dumb question about mechanics. Did we get
You're right.
along this week?
You have not taken a long rest yet.
Fuck.
I don't think we've even taken a short rest.
So Riley,
Yo.
if this isn't our ship, We can go ahead and report it to the authorities now.
All right, Thorgil, that is an excellent point. I mean, there are slaves aboard this ship, as we well know. He booms, or loudly.
This is the first time that you've seen the dark elf woman step forward, and she goes, "I think that you are mistaken. There are no slaves on this ship, lizard folk."
I want to roll an insight on that. Yeah.
Sure.
Everybody, please do it. So if I fail,
On that 20, that.
Yeah, I would try. On that thing, I would try.
I think we're okay.
That's important.
Yeah. She seems completely honest.
Oh.
Woo!
then since almost everybody except for me knows she's lying, can you guys ask where they are? Because they were keeping slaves.
We're probably in the basement of the bar.
Oh, we never checked that.
Well, actually, there wasn't a basement. I thought we did look around the bar. We did.
No, yeah, we searched that back room.
Yeah.
Yeah, you said
they weren't in the bar.
There was signs of a
They weren't in
struggle.
this. Yeah. So she's either, well, I mean, at least as far as Riley's concerned, like you basically nat 20, even with the -1, you know that she's not lying.
So she,
Um,
but
so-
she could technically be wrong, right?
She could either not know that there are slaves on the ship, or the slaves were moved elsewhere.
Yeah.
Or kidnappees.
I think Vulcan was speaking the first time and saying, "What did you do with the slaves?" Simple like that. 'Cause he's
Intimidate her, or are you just asking her?
I think I actually tried to intimidate. Okay, so here's the thing. If we took
So you do like a Terry
short
Crews
rest-
and you like flex your muscles and do like a peck dance and you're like, what'd you do with the slaves?
Oh,
So isn't that
No,
20 the
hold on.
insight? Like give him
If-
advantage on the intimidation or something? Like.
If we took a short rest, if just like going to this place, just taking a breather was a short rest, and then he feels not completely exhausted from the last fight, because he was pretty messed up, then he would intimidate. Otherwise, he is not super confident bleeding the way he is. Intimidate.
I don't know. That's almost scarier.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you still have. I mean, you're bandaged right now. You're not good.
Yeah.
You all didn't take a short rest. You all didn't take a long rest. Like you guys are exactly how you left the bar.
Mechanics check. What time of day is it?
If you look out into the center of the city and you see the crystal, the crystal is almost completely black. It is probably in the late evening, to early morning.
So it's hella dark right now, is what you're telling me.
The city as a whole is well lit, and so is the ship.
Motherfucker. My plan has been foiled.
Yeah, that stealth check.
Thorgil and Riley, give me an investigation check, because you two would recognize something.
Not X with a nat 20.
Oh,
It's a totally different thing.
We deal with boats.
Riley, you recognize that this ship was ready to set sail.
Ah, fruitcake. We don't have a lot of time.
Like, essentially, they were probably waiting for the captain and stuff to get back, and then they were about to head out.
God, I kind of wish I'd rolled the perception check before that.
Well, no, but that means that the slaves. I mean, well, never mind. Do you share that with anybody else?
Yeah. Well, at least to Thorgil, because Thorgil would understand that.
Okay, then I don't say anything.
mhm.
Like here's some indications. Like, A, everything's ready to set sail. B, there's way too many crew members on the ship. Like, crew are out party. Like when they hit landfall, they're out partying and drinking and carousing the city, right? Like, the crew is here. Like, all of them. Like, so as
So
far as
shore
things,
leave is over. They're about to leave for good.
they're basically waiting for the captain, and then they're out.
So then, how the hell would they have moved if they're trying to sell those slaves? How would they have moved them off the ship? They've got to be here, right?
Stored off-site, picked up on the way out, or outside
Oh.
of the city.
If they're like at the edge of the harbor or something, maybe to minimize threat, I guess.
You have looked at the map, right? Like it's a river,
Yeah.
so they could pick them up anywhere along the river.
I don't know, but y'all didn't say anything to Beavis, so I'm not involved in the conversation because I rolled nothing.
Hold on.
It does.
Hold on.
Oh, okay.
Do I have? I don't think I have spells anymore. Darn. Ooh. Wait. I don't remember if I blew my last spell slot or not. Let's see. I did use. I used Serious Might once, and I used. Yeah, I don't think no, I used Command. And then I used, I'm pretty sure I used all my spells, and I just forgot to do it. So never mind, I can do this.
I'm going to fly up off the deck of the ship.
Right, you have
Okay.
shoes.
Yeah, I have flying shoes, about 15 feet.
Sure.
I'll say, look, we've killed for that document, and we could do it again just as easily.
Well, the
Intimidation.
checks come out.
Oh,
Sure.
Yeah, I was just. My only intimidation would be something like that, but I'm not
Can-
super confident we can do a lot in the
Oh,
fight
okay.
right now.
Or go for
Oh man,
The leather-clad male in front of you, he looks up at you and he goes, "That's a nifty trick." Did you kill the captain because you wanted his ship? Or did you kill him because he was a dick?
He was a slave
Oh.
piece of scum.
Yes.
I
No,
mean,
we were-
both of them ultimately resolve to the same point, don't they?
we were hired to do it.
Well, you
Fair
were.
enough.
I was hired, but I killed him because he was a slaving piece of scum. Oh, who actually killed him? Anybody remember?
Technically, Ballard did.
Yeah, so I guess your answer is
Ah.
the most honest.
No, hold on. I'm pretty sure that he died.
It was.
Oh no, no,
burning.
oh no, no, yeah, he died from the fire. He was the one that died from the fire. I was thinking the
What
mage.
set him on
Yeah.
fire?
Technically, I killed him.
Technically, the paladin killed him.
So really, we should turn to Falcon.
Honestly,
Uh,
we wanted something from him. He refused to oblige. Ultimately, as a result of him, being a total. I can't think of anything off the top of my head that's, ultimately being a seriously big dick. In the end, the ship ended up ours.
You hear the dark elf woman go, "Sounds like that's the only thing that was big about him."
I was gonna while I'm making this. No, that won't work.
And you hear a couple chuckles of crew
What? No,
that
sorry.
were close enough to hear.
While I'm making the spiel, I'd like to walk around the pair. I'm assuming they're a little more forward than everyone else. Than the rest
Yeah,
of
I mean there's some that's behind you and some that are in front of you.
So,
I mean the crew is all
so
there.
while making the spiel, I would like to. God, I'm gonna regret this severely, but make a sleight of hand check on the elf.
The dark elf. You wanna get close to the dark elf?
Oh,
Yeah, like I said,
no.
I'm moving around, just talking, making the spiel.
Okay.
I'm gonna die.
Do it at disadvantage because she is wary of you.
Oh man. You know what? Screw it. I'm doing it at normal. I'm getting advantage on an ability check.
From
He says so.
oh. Oh.
Okay.
Wait, what am I missing?
They private messaged each other. It's a superpower.
Yeah.
He's private messaging me. Okay.
Boom.
Ooh.
So yeah, you kind of do one of these like walk-arounds where you kind of like walk around her, and she watches, and then she does the switch, and as she turns her head, that's when you take the hand, and in front of, like, other people can see you. It's really just her that doesn't see it. You reach into the folds of her robe with your right hand as you're walking around the back towards her left, and you slip it and you pull it, and then as her head turns to the left, you just switch hands and you're like, mine.
No, no, I am the captain now.
Well, he's gotta say it.
Out of this.
What is that from? What?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Look at me.
Tom
I
Hanks
am the
movie
captain
about the
now.
ship that got hijacked by.
No. Okay, fine. I will walk around, get back to my initial position where I was initially, open it up, take my hat, take a bow, and go, oh, I'm the captain now. And then proceed to put it back in, proceed to put it in my pocket in another pocket where it's not going to be taken out of.
You have a pocket within a pocket?
Dude, I'm Riley. I'm paranoid.
The crew starts just laughing their asses off at you, kind of like, whooping her on the sleight of hand. You can see that her cheeks darken a little bit. The purplish blue hue of her skin goes to kind of a darker black. And embarrassment. And they both kind of look at both the man and the dark elf look at you, and they go, so, Captain, what is your plans for the straight and narrow?
Well, I was hoping that'd be something we could discuss. Honestly, I have no intention of actually deceiving you. As I glare at them for, taking the writ from me to begin with.
Right.
Honestly, I have nothing but, the utmost respect for people. And personally, I'd rather, be on good terms with them than, have to go and do things deceptively. We're just gonna go find a god. Don't worry about it. As they said.
Roll me a 1d100.
Oh God.
Oh, right now?
Yeah.
Don't
I get to do it anytime I want.
No, I thought it was. I still had to cast something first.
I can do it whenever I want after you use that.
Or is this like get on the GM's good side? Fuck the GM roll?
I know what
Fuck
this
you.
is.
You should know what it is. It's hilarious.
Yes.
Oh, never mind. Never mind.
Yeah.
I'm wrong. I'm wrong.
Yeah. I have to cast something
Yeah,
first.
Yes, that makes sense.
I just didn't read far enough. The
if you want to play
the
it that
dark elf.
If you want to play it that way, we can play it that way. But that means as soon as I do that, I can keep rolling.
Right. The dark elf looks at the rest of the crew, and you see her kind of look, and you see her frown, and she takes her foot and she slams it down on the ground, and you hear the splintering of wood beneath her foot. At this point, you realize that she's kind of wearing like bell-bottom, kind of like loose, can't touch this pants. And
I have to call her MC Hammer now, right?
Right. And then her feet are bare on the deck of the ship, and where her foot hammered in, you can see that where the heel and the front of the balls of her feet hit, the wood is completely cracked on the deck. And she goes, "We're supposed to set sail. I believe some of you need to get back to that." And she then kind of, you see her tap on the back of the male gentleman, and he goes, "Let us show you to your quarters to discuss this further."
I'd greatly appreciate that.
Yeah, no.
How much time until we set sail?
Inside.
Yep.
How much time do we have until we set sail?
Me too.
That's a ship person's question, but you can tell that they're probably like a half hour out from setting sail.
How
really gotta
far
be
am I away from the place where the children are?
We also want to be
An
there.
hour or two.
Motherfucker.
We rule this place now. If they'll listen, we can bring one of
Yeah,
them.
if you guys end up owning the ship, then they set sail when you all say so.
Okay, since Riley is the captain, I'm gonna be like, yo, bruh, I'm gonna need a few hours. I'll be right back.
The rest of the party still needs to head back to the orphanage anyway to inform said lady about the,
Oh, that's right. That's
Yeah.
right.
I mean, and I say the rest because because was it you and I were not there, or Balor, were you there as well, or were you gone?
I was there.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
he was there.
yeah.
Was that?
Two of us weren't
Look,
there, and I
I'll-
wasn't sure if it was Valiant, Riley, or you and Riley.
I'll do it, because, I could fly.
Well, either way.
Well, I mean, we can all go, but we should just bring one of these officers with us as collateral until we can trust them.
I mean, I'll catch up in no time. Even if y'all do set sail, so.
can
I
fly.
need to go back. So you can't just go by yourself. I need to discuss things with the lady of the orphanage.
What the hell?
Okay. Anyway, so
Do you
what?
even know about
I
that?
follow them where they're taking me, right? Because I'm assuming.
Yeah, they're
ins-
directing you towards the aft of the ship, towards.
Does
where the
my
captain's
16
quarters
insight
normally
give
is.
me anything?
They seem honest about it. They don't. It doesn't seem like a trap. They
Yeah,
seem to
sure.
be genuinely interested more now about who you all are and what you're all about.
Okay, but Beavis would remind you about the slaves, Riley, because there are.
No.
as
It's
far
that's
as-
not something Riley would forget.
Okay. Oh yeah, I guess your character would really care about that more than I would probably.
So, as they open the door and lead you into the captain's quarters area, we will take a break.
I was to say
Before
we
we
come
get
to a
to-
commercial break.
Yeah, commercial break. It's a good commercial break.
terrible.
Why is all the cameras changed? You all just were invited into the captain's quarters. As you walk in, you see a very finely furbished room made of polished oak and other fine woods. In the middle of the table, or the area, you see that there is a table that seems to have been bolted into the floor so it doesn't shift about while the ship is on the sea. And spread about it is a massive pile of papers of all different sorts. And as you get closer, you see that they seem to be tide charts. Or wind charts, seemingly to navigate the icy regions of the north to ultimately lead out into the more calm and less treacherous seas of the Heartless Ocean and the Empty Expanse. But the frothy waters and the Frost Bay are very dangerous. And so there seems to be kind of maps and charts to kind of get you through that region of sorts. Cat, what are you doing?
Meow.
He's feeling really shitty because he bit the fuck out of my arm earlier. So now he's trying to be all like sweet and adorable.
Because he thought you were a mouse and he wanted to eviscerate you.
Yeah. Well, I fucking grabbed him by the back of the neck and tossed him outside, and he wasn't too keen about that, so I think he's a little sorry for his own sake. You also see off to the side is a fairly well furbished or made bunk of sorts that seems to be foldable up into the wall with a mattress and fine linens, as well as a large chest at the foot of it, pushed against the wall. You all see that there are a number of seats, kind of like foldable down seats, that you all can place yourselves in and do so as the human male and dark elf
Wait,
female.
isn't this just Riley?
No, all of you.
Oh.
They invited all of you.
Do you think I would walk into a room with two strangers alone?
Stranger danger, man.
Fair enough, I'd probably do it, let's be real here.
Yeah. You all make your way in, and they close the cabin door behind you all. You all... Oh, there's the pizza!
You know, most people... Some people have pizza in the morning,
Yeah, I do too.
and they have pizza in the evening, but you seem to only have it for supper time, dude.
That truly,
Yeah,
that was a
starts living.
man on a mission. You're right, though. That was a determined pizza man. What kind of cat with its head shoved into your leg like that? It looks like he can't breathe.
It's probably fine.
It doesn't look comfortable. It looks like it would hurt your neck.
He does that all the time. That's how he
Hi.
like normally sleeps. Is he like mashes his face into something.
Yeah, that sounds fine
Yeah.
for a cat. My cat likes
He's
to.
very dog-like though.
Yeah,
I think because
I've encountered that cat in person, and it's very friendly until it's spreading organs on your lap.
yeah. The one time Steven was over here recently, the cat like brought a mouse and like chomped the head off the mouse's head or the body, and was proudly displaying it to everybody. Jesus, how many
Hey,
fucking
hey,
food
Nate.
did he get?
Nate, how many... Yeah. How many... Nate. Nate.
I can hear
Nate.
you. I will fight you.
Oh. Hey, how many pizzas did you get, man?
I got one pizza and some breadsticks. All right.
And...
Is
There's
this
something in a bag.
Group Chain restaurant? Is this Domino's?
There we go.
Papa John's?
Yeah, it's Papa John's.
It's Papa
What kind of
Domino's.
It is pepperoni, chicken and green peppers.
So not quite a
That
pizza.
is a very unique combo.
It's
Yeah.
not bad
It's
though.
actually
I've never.
really good.
It almost sounds like kind of like a Philly cheesesteak, like a Philly chicken steak, but like with
Yeah.
pepperoni on it too.
I'm really more of a single meat kind of pizza person though. Like I can't imagine having chicken and pepperoni on
I know. I
pizza.
prefer pineapple as my
Yeah.
meat.
Pineapple's
You can
good.
go to hell.
I could have
Don't
done
get
it
me
if it
wrong.
was. I could have
I
done
like
it if it was like beef and chicken, but like pepperoni is like one of those like I prefer pepperoni on its own. Kind
Yeah.
Of.
Oh, y'all can go to hell. It's my pizza.
I mean,
You don't have
you're
to.
you're entitled. You can enjoy your pizza.
I'm
no
gonna
matter
order
what.
one next time I get a pizza, which is rare, and I'm
Oh.
gonna see.
So you're gonna do it
Oh, just like-
next Saturday?
When-
Next Saturday,
when
right
I-
when Nate's comes in, yours will come in, and then.
yeah,
When I
right?
give you beer to help me build my computer, I'm ordering you a Sicilian from Four Brothers right near my house. It's the best fucking pizza. It's so good.
Fantastic.
So where were we?
Oh yeah, I need
Oh,
to have.
Talking about pizza.
We
Of
were waiting on
course.
Nate, and we lost Cloric, so now we're waiting on Nate and Cloric, and
Our characters are just sitting in the captain's cabin talking about
Frozen.
pizza. The other characters are like, pizza? What pizza? What is this foreign food stuff?
No, you're forgetting the fact that
Sorry.
they only hear half the conversation because Riley's not in. It's like I'm not in character right now, so anything I'm saying is not being heard.
Oh, so you're just yeah.
So you guys are having half a conversation where I'm actually talking, but you know, nothing is coming out of Riley's mouth. There's nothing.
Sorry, I could hear
This is a
you. I was just
character. He's offering He's offering pizza, Sicilian pizza for computer parts.
yeah. All right. So, anyways, they all lead you in, closing the door, the heavy door behind you, and you hear the sliding of a deadbolt as they close it.
Ooh, spooky.
They walk in and sit down, the two of them next to each other, and they say, "Y'all look a little well." The male says, "Y'all look a little worse for wear." I assume that came from the captain and well, my apologies, the ex-captain and his compatriots.
One could assume as much.
He nods.
Being worse.
And might I ask the purpose of his death?
Well, as I recall, some words were spoken, and he didn't take too kindly to that.
You hear the dark elf go, "Which one of you called him short?"
Riley would like to make a glance towards Beavis and then promptly shift it to Valium.
Yeah. Valium just slowly raises her hand, nods.
That would be those two.
So, what's your intentions here? You obviously have the writ. You call the authorities and they'll recognize this as your ship. Naturally, we could go along with you as well as the crew, or we and the crew can walk. But we can't take the ship with us. It's just too damn heavy.
That is, I mean, if you did try, I would definitely give you some serious kudos for it, because that would be a rather impressive feat.
And how long are a group of slavers gonna last in Hodheim?
The both of them look over and they go, "Supposed slavers," almost like in unison.
Yeah, have you met the Iron Guard? Are they gonna work in supposeds and allegedly?
If we were proven innocent, then yes.
Alright, Beavis, let's not go accusing people off the bat here. Let's try and keep it, very personal. We're just having a civil discussion, can't we?
Okay, I'm gonna very showingly tip the tricorn and say aye aye, Captain, and shut my mouth.
Wait, what? What?
Sweet baby Jesus.
No, I'm confused. Beavis shut his mouth.
Only
Yeah.
because you're captain and it's your ship.
No, Yeah, but
You are the captain now.
He's still like you can see his jaw moving, like he wants to speak.
Well, okay, what was the last question? Sorry, I'm now distracted. I got distracted by Beavis.
What's your purpose with the ship? What do you want it for? What's your goal? Because ultimately, if they don't agree, if they don't back it, they're taking the crew with them and they're leaving.
Well, let me turn it around and ask you a question. What's your interest here?
The male looks over at the female and he goes, well, money.
Yeah, continued employment.
I'll say money makes sense to me personally. I love money. You can buy a lot of stuff with money.
He nods and he goes, that is the goal.
Anything else? Like that's your only interest in this ship? Or
He nods and he goes, well, I mean, personally, where Gnarl goes, I go.
so that was the guy talking about the elf. Where the
Yep.
elf goes, he goes.
Yep.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure I had that order
Yeah,
straight.
basically their package deal is what they're kind of stating.
Okay.
And that's very reasonable. I mean, so Gnarl, why are you here then?
She kind of thinks for a second, goes, not money. Death.
Death. Alrighty. I
I like
believe
where your
you and
head's at.
Valium would get some.
I'd like to do an air high five.
Alright, what about death?
She kind of pauses, like she's having a problem because like she doesn't like talking a whole lot, so she's like trying to figure out how to put like her terms, like her descriptions in so few words, and she goes, my home was incapable of killing me. I seek a better death.
Well, have we got a death for you?
Wait, so what's okay? So that's Gnarl, and who's the other guy again? What's the, I wrote down Xan.
Xaneth.
Xaneth.
The
Okay.
human male is Xaneth.
Okay, I forgot
The
an I.
dark elf female is Gnarl.
I'm not putting them in the quest log. That's your responsibility. They're yours.
That's why I'm writing them down. I need to know people.
Yeah, no, they're yours. They are not in my bio.
not a part of the official quest log.
Yeah.
All right, so you're just looking for somewhere to die die much better than where you left. So what? Like something adventurous, heroic. I mean, if you're uncomfortable talking, I don't mind, backing off a little. I'm just curious.
She thinks for a second, and she goes, worthy. I would prefer a worthy death. I don't want to die in a bed, drowned at sea, or starving on a ship. I don't want to die in a cell.
That's fair.
I want to die fighting.
All right, so you want some excitement, maybe a little bit of adventure in there as well, I'm assuming.
She nods.
Well, currently, I feel that our plans could benefit the both of you. One, we're just a ragtag group of adventurers. So, I mean, we enjoy going out, getting ourselves into trouble, and a lot of people do end up dead. Not that we're going to go out and kill you or anything. We're just saying that, excitement happens, things, we're also just trying to make our way in the world. Does that seem reasonable to the two of you?
They both nod, and then she kind of nudges with her elbow into into Xanath, and Xanath goes, still feels like you're skirting around the question.
Ah, caught on to that, did you? Fair enough. I did say I would be honest with you guys. Alright, so currently what's on our to-do list, Beavis?
I straight up Mary Poppins, a book that's way too big to fit in my robe, out of my robe. And
A giant fucking
I
scroll.
slam it down and I crack it open and I say, well, give me some context. We got a lot to do.
I would just like to stop Beavis right there to say, I think that answers that question.
They both go and they go, no.
Ah. Alright, so
That and he got to Xanath, he leans forward and he goes, that whole book ain't for us. Where does the shit fall into that book?
it's fair.
I hold him a finger and flip to a very specific page.
Yep.
I'm not reading it. I'm gonna usher. Riley's the fucking captain. I'm gonna usher you over. You can read it.
Put me on the spot here. A lot on the spot. Let's see here. You know what? Riley's going all in on this bit, and this is excluding the more recent bits. My personal investment in this, not necessarily anyone else's, is that eventually I need to make my way back to Stolt. I've got a lot invested back there that I need to take care of for my own personal reasons. Some of you
Gnarl
know,
nods. She goes, I have been there.
This is news to Beavis, so I'm gonna start furiously scribbling that down.
yeah. I plan on
In
dropping
the
it.
margins on the current page.
Yeah. Okay.
Where the ship is concerned. Footnotes.
I'm adding it to the quest log.
Right. Kitty is so cute, but he's such a little murder ball right now. Yeah. He's like doing that gently, like where he like extends his claws and then closes them.
Yeah, there's nothing gentle about claws that have actually had viscera on them.
Yeah. In the course of a year and a half that I have known him, he has killed approximately 7 mice.
One of which was in front of Steve.
Well, he killed it
And-
and brought it over.
And your vegan friend.
Yeah. Were both the girls there? Two
No.
of the girls are vegans. Oh no, the sister wasn't there. But yeah, the blonde, her sister, is also a vegan who normally shows up on those D&D events. But she wasn't there for that.
It was kind of funny to see her emotionally torn between an animal, which she cares about, and the fact that that animal viciously murdered another animal.
That's why I don't have a problem with us eating meat. At least we shoot it in the head and insta-give it. Fuck.
Most of the time.
Yeah, sometimes.
Riley would like to ask Gnarl her experience with Stolt.
She nudges Xanath at that, and he goes, not the best. Let's just say she's not a fan of the current government.
Aye. There we can relate.
Are there slaves there, Riley?
Yes, there it is within the slave district.
As many as Hostrus?
Oh God, no.
But still enough that it's a problem.
Um,
And I doubt the current regime the current regime isn't doing anything to make it any better. It's probably going the other direction.
Have
Yes.
you told any of us you're anti-slave?
Nope, that's what we're getting to.
Okay.
Riley is laying it all on the table right now.
Okay.
I'd also like to say I find it very interesting that like I wrote this as like Thorgil's story,
No.
but we're doing so well in fleshing out some of like the never known shit about Riley's story.
I did
until we get to
Yeah,
to
I love
this.
this.
I did tell you, Versi, that I had been planning this whole bombshell for
Oh, I know.
months.
I know.
Like,
No, I'm well aware.
Riley
It's
was
just
a slave
I
once.
find it interesting that like ultimately it's gonna return back to Thorgils, but like then it's gonna just crash right into Stolt and your story.
and just things are gonna explode.
Yep.
Aye.
God bless
Since
the day you figure out how to make cannons.
so
I have metallurgy experience. We can figure that out.
So instead of doing this actually in character, I'm just going to say that Riley is going to go on about, literally his backstory about being installed, about, his goal in trying to liberate it from the current regime and try to, make it a significantly better, better place. Not to mention, he's got some serious payback to get on the guy that, in essence killed his adopted father. Which Riley will, make some sort of movement towards the hat and one of the pistols, because they're the things. And Rocky.
Right.
And Rocky.
Right.
Are you giving us names or details, or?
I haven't.
Yeah, you've been planning this for months, amigo.
Yeah.
I know. Oh, I've been planning on just I plan on just dropping a bunch of maps and just pointing this all out, but I don't. Honestly, I don't. Riley doesn't know any names. There were no names involved.
So you basically tell us what you just told us.
Exactly.
All this stuff happened.
Because Riley doesn't know exactly
so-
who. All Riley knows is that it was a group of bandits.
In that case, let me flesh out. Zach, if you're okay with it, correct me as I tell your story. Like if you're cool with that, like let me paint a picture and then you add details as needed, if that's good.
Beer.
Cat freaked the fuck out.
Meow!
And now he's crashing. Okay.
That's about right.
He literally like hopped out and then he just went bleh. So the story that Riley tells you is that as early as he can remember, he remembers being raised in Stolt. Stolt is a city of what is essentially beached ships in the middle of a great swamp on a southern island. This is fairly common knowledge to all of you, at least in some loose understanding, that there's a large, it would normally be an island, but for all reasonable purposes, it's a small continent called Kellar, that's to the southwest of Avendor, which is basically the main continent that you all belong to. That is the
This
world
like
of Tempest.
Sicily off of Rome, or like bigger than that?
If Sicily if all of Italy was the entire continent of the world, then yes. Because essentially,
It's kind of like Australia then.
like to give you an idea, like Tavorel is the map. Avendor is the continent that you all are on right now, which quite literally is the size of everything from Europe to China.
Oh, okay. So, and then
And Kellar is essentially what would be equating to South America, but off the edges of Avendor. If you look at the map, like if you look at the handout, you can see it.
Yeah, so
Ta-da.
the Nith Isle or whatever is more like that size.
Yeah, so like the Starlit, whatever, and then the Prel Islands and things like that. Like those are large, but that would be like the state of Texas or, Alaska in size. Like it's not. I mean, they're
So
all
we
like
could have a whole damn campaign in Kellar then. It's big.
yes, technically, we're gonna go off on a small tangent. Technically, as a DM, I normally would make you guys play in the same small region for 5 levels, and then I would make you play in a larger region for basically I would make you play in
So Stolt to Kellar to.
well, I would make you play in the Whisper playing garrisons, and then by level 5, maybe you made it to Springbrook, right? The small town to the right of it. But then by level 10, you would do everything between the mountains, to Blackrock Chasm. That would be basically to level 10. and then you would be able to go to the whole continent. That's how like D&D normally tries to pitch it, but I think that it's way more fun for you guys to see the entirety of the world and let you guys travel, because it's totally reasonable that you could. So, long story short, yes, you could play on Kellar for an entire campaign up to like level 15, realistically, for its size. Same thing realistically with the Frel Islands, those islands way down to the south. You could realistically play those all the way until like level 10, if I so wished. But I felt that it's more fun for you guys to kind of be a largely wandering nomadic group. And that's why I've kind of quarantined you, i.e. like everything above Hosters is kind of like your domain. You know?
And you don't
So
want us
kinda-
interfering with the other group.
Right, because the other group is to the south. And so I kind of divvied it up. But eventually, you all are going to crash in Kellar, is kind of my idea. So they're right now, they're down in the Aspor region, the capital of Aspor. And
Aspor.
you
Really?
said ass.
I'm glad I'm not alone in that.
I should make it a Z instead, Asbor. Anyways, but long story short, back to Riley's story. Riley grew up there. Both his father and him essentially were refugees. The dynamic of the city is primarily refugees, criminals, pirates.
It's essentially fantasy Australia.
It's very much fantasy Australia, but there is a ship there called the Leviathan. It's a gigantic ship. The way that I try to explain it to Zach is that it is what would essentially be a galleon, the largest ship that we've written stats for, with all of the upgrades.
And I want to steal it.
And
I'm
basically,
sorry, what is this?
whoever,
What is this ship?
it's called the Leviathan. It's a galley.
It's a really flippin' big ship. Pretty much the best ship we could possibly ever get.
Let's make that our goal.
And no, that's what I'm saying. And Riley's
That's
plan
what
is
it
to steal it.
Okay.
But it's basically used as the main base for the lead gang, which essentially is the government of Stolt.
They took over.
Because whoever owns that ship basically owns everything.
That's like the only aircraft carrier in the entire world. basically.
Pretty much.
Right.
Not,
Yeah,
that,
I don't know about
not that they
We
had it when I left. That's a new development.
So that's why occasionally you've heard him ask about has there been any news about Stolt? And as a whole, he doesn't really get much because
So far
no
away.
one really gives a fuck about Stolt. That's what makes Stolt Stolt. But occasionally he does get a bit.
That's why I was
So-
always asking the things and whatnot. I've got tons of maps.
Essentially he got run out of there, and and it was by no good means, leaving his father behind. His father has since deceased due to the events that led to his exodus.
Roughly, they hit when Riley was out scavenging for food. They just tore through the place, essentially destroying anything Riley could call, home, family, friends, anything. The only thing he literally had left, his fatherly figure is blind from, trying to save Riley. So he couldn't defend himself. That's why Riley is the one that has the gun. And so all he did was he picked up Rocky, grabbed the hat and whatever else he could that was remains, and took off in order to try
Yes.
and recruit people and just get overall stronger to take, in order to take Stolt back from them.
So long story short, he's on a revenge quest.
Oh yes.
That's a solid, unique change to a very classic story. I like that.
Yes, as is the proper way to write any cliche story. Write a cliche story, but make it your own.
You should
Well-
see how much, like, I've got like 4 pages worth of text here for my backstory.
Yeah.
Damn. All right. Well, you know full well that Beavis is a sucker for anything even remotely cliche. So if you tell him that story, he is full blown on your side. His whole goal is to make that happen.
And as Riley
Yeah.
speaks the story, he has like the most determination and fire you have ever seen in him. Like legitimately, usually, you see Riley like, panicked or something, and he does something about it, right? Like this is more determined than you've ever like seen him ever.
So wait, you're telling us the story now?
Yes, like I'm just laying it all on the table.
Oh, okay. Beavis is straight up completely the most silent you've ever heard him. This is the
and I think
closest
to
thing-
just for funsies, one of the other things that you all notice is that as Riley tells this, his breathing is heavy. He's a little bit hunched. His hands are on the table with all the maps that these persons have had before him. But as he does that, occasionally you see sparking about his nostrils and about the back of his mouth is a little bit of lightning. He seems to not be fully in control of himself or his magic in this regard.
So I'm gonna tell you, Zach, that I haven't even told really on this, but a big part of my backstory is I grew up reading adventure stories, and I've always wanted to be in one of them, and this is the closest I've got. So Beavis is 100% ready to be the Friar Tuck to your Robin Hood. You can pretty much command him around right now.
Oh no, I mean like literally the way that you guys have this is like Thorgil's story is literally the voyage of the Dawn Treader,
Yeah.
then switched into God, what's that? What's the thief book? Because I literally built Stolt off of the book. Anyways, there's another book that I built Stolt off of. It's my hat tilt to a really famous, well-written novel. But yeah, like I mean, we're in famous fantasy story arc books right now.
Oh.
I'm all for it. Let's find our god and then take over an island.
Please tell me you said that, like right after Riley finished.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
Beavis.
Captain, my captain.
Yeah. In case you haven't noticed, I'm unhinged from reality. I'm pretty sure this is an adventure story. So you just handed me a real adventure story.
Yeah.
Like I am all for it.
So you all like kind of get engrossed in this, and the group of you, because this is kind of new to all of you, you kind of forget that the other persons are there.
Riley will look up and say, "So if that's not good enough for you," as he's trembling at this point.
Yeah, he's practically vibrating in his scales at this point. And the two of them kind of look between each other, and Xanath looks at all of you and he goes, "You all are fucking nuts." And then Gnarl quickly follows up with, "We are so in."
Oh yeah.
I didn't even have to make a persuasion check for that.
Nah,
Not
dude.
a story like that, you don't.
If you're gonna bust out your entire backstory that you've kept hidden for months,
Yeah.
no, we're fucking like you nat 20 it, like fuck it.
Months. We're at a year now, aren't we?
Wait, does
I don't
Valken
know.
say that out loud?
Probably about a year.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay.
Because he didn't actually want to fight any of the time.
Okay. So Xanath steps up. They both kind of start shaking all of your hands, kind of giving compatriotness. You all will now notice if you look in your
I already saw it and read them.
okay. You now have access to their character sheets. So when naval combat happens, I will ask one person to command each of their character sheets, and do roles equivalent for them. Ignore the weird, like, wording because I pulled them from other things. Like, technically, Gnarl, I pulled from a GIF, character sheet. So, like, if you see, like, weird GIF referencing in there, it's Gnarl. But I pulled Gnarl's build from the GIF monk. So.
Okay.
But yeah, they're not the strongest. I mean, by no means are they like you guys as characters, but they ain't slouches
Yeah,
either.
but that guy gets 3 attacks, yeah.
So
I mean,
they're definitely worthy entities to have fight beside you, as is the case for the ship.
I like how Gnarl has 131 intelligence.
I didn't notice that.
That shouldn't be.
Yikes.
Rolled a 67.
Yeah.
And that's fixed.
No, I can't roll. I've never. That's so frustrating. I would love to roll a 67 intelligence.
Think of what that does to your spell save DC.
Hell yeah.
You will dodge every spell.
Every
Right.
spell.
Okay.
Whoa,
Um,
she's an invisible mage hand?
Yeah, she's
Yep.
a rogue, arcane trickster.
That is awesome.
So yeah, I will always ask in combat if two people will do that. So if there are particularly 2 people that are interested in doing that, please feel free to claim them as your characters, your side characters, your companion characters, as far as things go. But
I play a magic user, so my turns don't need to be any longer, but I would definitely.
right, probably wizards and sorcerer-esque type characters are not the ones to volunteer, but
Yeah,
I mean,
Valar.
whatever anyone's interested in.
I would definitely do it, but.
So,
Oh, yeah.
we'll get to that when we get to it. So they look at you, and Xanath goes, so at this point, we're ready to launch.
It's been 1 day since I made my
Let's
order
go.
too, isn't it? So I need another day.
I know we've made friends here, Riley, but we do need to broach the subject of any potential captives because, as far as we're concerned,
Beavis
There
is
are.
correct. According to some sources, namely the dickishness of your captain, there's led us to believe that there's potentially slaves on board the ship.
say captives. Don't make them feel too bad.
They nod, and they go, particularly, Gnarl, she goes, I am not a liar. We do not have any captives on this ship.
Then
The
what?
ship you are seeking is the sister ship to ours.
Wait,
For there are 2 of us.
the captain
We
had
got the wrong ship.
the captain had has 2 ships.
The captain had a partner. Each of them has their own ship.
Oh, okay. So do we kill him and take his ship, or kill him and sell his ship?
The one that you are looking for, the ship, is the Crooked Beam. She has already set sail.
The straight and narrow and the crooked beam.
Yep.
To be fair, Zach told me what this ship would be named, so I felt that if I wrote a sister ship, it had to be the antonym to it.
Fair enough.
So the straight, crooked, and then beam is the width of the ship. So I figured that was a adequate reference to a fat bottom girl.
Well, they make this rock and world go round.
Yeah,
There we go.
you're getting there before me. That music video stirred some shit up in me when I was a kid.
Oh my. How long ago did they leave?
He's still dying. Give him a second.
Oh yeah, take your time, Versi. Take your time.
No, you're good. She goes. At this point, probably 2 to 3 hours. They should be reaching the mouth of the river by now.
Do we know their ultimate goal so that we could delay chasing them? Although if we delay, those slaves will get sold off, and I don't think we're cool with that.
And also,
She smiles and she goes, "Oh, don't worry. They're not leaving until they have the sister ship with them."
And
Oh.
why is that?
What's that?
Meow.
What?
Meow.
That's almost as bad as when I used to have the dogs that would climb onto the bed and maul me.
Meow.
The world is staring at you. What do you want?
Wow. Now she's quiet. Oh, and then as soon as the cameras moved away, cats suck.
I agree. Hamsters are much more enjoyable.
Yes.
Yeah, they're quiet.
He just
Well-
wanted a pet. Anyways, so yeah, you get from Gnarl that the ships don't travel without each other.
What's the
So that she'll probably, the crooked beam will probably wait to fully travel once you all make out into the ocean.
How does this usually work? Why do you guys run in pairs?
She chuckles and she goes, "Well, it's easier to deal with pirates, easier to capture trade ships along the way."
Alrighty, well how long do we have? Will they just wait indefinitely?
A day or two. Obviously, they're not going to just leave without us, but too long and they'll view that something had happened too long.
do we really care?
We were
what they
caught
do?
by authorities or something like that.
I mean,
Yes, Valar, we care. They have slaves, they need to be freed.
She goes,
Again, I'll remind you,
as for
basic person decency.
as for proof that we are not what you thought we were. And she goes over and she nudges certain boards with her feet. You see her kind of like stomping with her foot about the cabin, and you see her lift what you had previously, none of you had noticed were there, secret compartments beneath the cabin's quarter. And inside you see, how many of those are there on the ship?
what, secret compartments?
Yeah, 3. You see her lift 3 boards out, the kind of like secret flooring, and you see inside of them boxes, about 4 boxes each, stacked precariously amongst each other in these hidden compartments. Cat.
That sounded like a raven. That was not a cat noise. Never more. Never more.
And you see that there's these boxes hidden beneath the floorboards, and she goes, "These would normally house captives."
Whoa, ew. They're like coffins that would house captives?
We would bind them and keep them under the floorboards if the captain had his way.
Ugh.
However,
I'm glad we killed him.
Yeah.
he is no longer an issue. And therefore, we were keeping a more smuggling operation running instead of slavery.
Smuggling is awesome, but we gotta destroy those boxes. That shit's haunted.
Well, the boxes don't have people. These are normal like crate boxes, about like 5 feet by 5 feet boxes.
Okay.
They're not like that keep humans. Like normally they would have kept human, like they would have like boxed humans into these places, you know, like in coffin kind of like
Oh,
places.
okay, yeah. That makes
These are something totally different. They're
Okay.
not coffins for people. She basically what she's saying is that what these are illegal substances that they were going to get out of Hodel.
Oh yeah, that's totally cool.
Wait. What? Wait. Are they actually full or are they just empty boxes?
They are full. Basically, they put all the captives on
The other
sister
one-
ship.
And they have the smuggling operation on
And
this
they
one.
have
The drugs
the
on the
illegal basically the drugs on this ship.
Yeah, is this like opium or like mithril?
You need to crack open a box to know what's in them.
Okay,
Mhm.
quick. So,
Copies.
what's in the boxes?
What's in the box?
Can you make it
Yeah.
ahead?
At this point, Xanath pipes up and he goes, "Honestly, we don't really know."
To the boxes!
Yeah,
It-
Beavis is
what
already
would you
opening
like
it.
to
He
find
said
out?
We don't know.
And he goes, "We think it's a drug. It acts like a drug,
Holy shit, it's
but we've
What-
never seen it before."
Yeah, I was gonna say, what if it's dark iron? I was hoping, like, come on,
Oh, that's what I
come
meant when
on,
I said
come
mithril.
on,
Yeah.
anti-magic metal.
Yeah, I just
Um,
watched Fellowship of the Ring, so I was thinking mithril.
Yeah, you crack open the boxes, and inside you see a weird. It looks like a teardrop, completely cylindrical. It looks like a like glass that has been dipped or like dolloped into water, except for it's completely black until you hold it up to the light, and then it casts a ruby hue to it. And they're about yay big in size, maybe like 1.5 inches, 2 inches. And from what you gather, Xanath tells you that imbibing them in any capacity gives you a drug-like inducement.
What check?
Does this seem to be the same stuff from that underground fountain in the church?
No,
Totally, it's
Sh-
like immediately different.
totally
obviously.
different.
What check would I have to make to possibly recognize this?
Can't we just give it to a crewmate? See what happens?
You're complaining about slavery, but not human testing. Says the guy
No,
who
I
was
don't mean-
against
I
the
don't
golems.
Deceptively, I mean just hold it up and be like, "Yo, who wants to get fucked up?"
Yo, who wants to get fucked up?
These are pirates. One of them is gonna be all about it.
Medicine?
Yeah, medicine would be a good one.
Not like,
Yeah, let's start with medicine.
not like a history check or anything that I would have survival.
History, if you have done drug trading before.
I mean, I was an urchin on the streets and stole. This is why I'm asking.
Okay. Yeah, then you could do a history.
I don't know nothing about no medicine.
I'm gonna try some
I would
medicine.
give it to somebody. I'm not rolling.
Pretty good.
That one.
It's candy. I'll eat it.
Yeah.
I just want to take it and eat it now.
Slap. What was that, Mercy? Did you say something?
No, well, let's start with Thorgil, even though I was gonna start with Bradley. Thorgil, do you eat one?
I slap it out of his hands if I know better.
I mean, there's multiple crates, so I think Thorgil's kind of rummaging around in a crate that you don't see.
Oh no!
I'm gonna take it, yes.
Okay,
Negative 10 modifier to everything except for seeing colors.
so roll me a Constitution saving throw.
God.
Good at those, I
Does
guess.
this count as poison?
Yes,
He's a dwarf.
I know,
Yeah.
which means he gets advantage.
Isn't he unpoisonable?
Oh.
No.
21.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind. Riley, from what Xanath tells you, you've heard of a drug that's similar to this. It never looked like this though. There's a drug in Stolt called tack. It's a extreme hallucinogen that is heavily addictive. And it comes in little pellets. It's almost rubbery, and it's kind of like a gum that you chew. And when you chew it, it basically the drug filters into the mucosis of your mouth and gets you high.
So it just jumps the blood-brain barrier and immediately screws you all up.
Exactly.
I don't like while you stroke the cat while you DM, because I feel like you're waiting to gleefully murder us.
He is waiting to gleefully murder us. He's going to give us a chance, but he's going to gleefully murder us.
Oh, she just looked at the camera. I don't like it.
Get it.
As soon as I pull the camera away, she like smashes her
Head.
Now you got me saying she, even though it's a he. He smashes his head right back into my leg. However, Thorgil, you hear this as you crunch into it. It's not gummy whatsoever. It's hard like rock candy.
You're eating glass.
So dwarf's best friend.
And it is not tasty whatsoever. But you try it anyway. And
Keep going.
Yeah, you just keep going. And as you do so, you kind of like you swallow it and you're like, huh. And that's probably like the moment like you're crunching it, and that's when like Riley finally realizes what you're doing is because like literally everyone can hear you crunching this like it's like munching like a mouthful of chips, right?
Definitely not a Tide Pod.
Yeah, definitely not a Tide Pod. Hashtag Tide Pods.
I can't.
Do you know that bars now serve mixed drinks that look like the Tide? Oh my god, I want to drink one so
I hear
bad.
that same dumb joke from my 10th graders every day for the last 2 weeks. I can't do it again.
I want to drink one. Anyways, so you do that and you swallow it and you're kind of like, not that bad. And then just everything kind of like slows, and like you see that as people move, they leave like after images behind them. Kind of like in like the Matrix movies when like they like move really fast and there's like multiple images of themselves, like when they're dodging bullets, and like people are kind of like doing that. And then it hits you harder. And you look around and you can see waves of something like traveling through the air and into certain persons in the room. You see that almost everyone in the room is absorbing these waves in different ways, except for Valium and Xanath and Naro. They are not absorbing these waves. Everyone else is. But the weird thing is
What's their alignment?
Theirs?
Yeah.
Not the
that
same
was my
as yours.
first thought too, Nate.
Oh, damn.
But also the thing that you notice is that everyone is exuding energies. You can literally see auras from people.
You can see sound.
Yeah.
He's high as a
You
kite.
realize you are straight up on LSD right now, right?
And you can see when you look at yes, Cat. You see nope, he's on the move. You see that when you look at Riley, he has a strange orange tint to him. And as you try to focus on it, you see that for a moment it looks like growing leaves, which then burst into flame and then drip like water. And then the water grows and becomes electric that shoots up into his body. And it seems to be this weird cacophony of movement about his aura. You look at Beavis and you see that his face is constantly flickering. Every time that he blinks, it's like a new face on his person. He grows a little bit taller, a little bit shorter. He grows horns, then he doesn't. His skin goes red, then it's blue, then it's back to the normal color, but his eye changed. Then one eye is a different color, and then back. You look over at
Can I
Balor.
just be narrating all of this to everyone else?
Sure.
It's like,
Wait.
going.
You're doing what
Got
Beavis
horns,
does. Does
then.
mean that Beavis has been on this drug since you guys met him?
exactly.
Probably.
You
John,
look
you've
over
done
at
LSD before, right?
yeah.
Is that what this is? Like,
No.
essentially? It's like, is that what he's experiencing?
I'd say it's probably closer to acid, but it's not. I did try to make this fairly unique, so it really
There's
doesn't.
too much magic in it to be.
Yeah, there's
Okay.
it's very much like if you like had a little too much, you had a bad trip of shrooms. This is kind of what you're kind of running on. But you look over at Balor, and Balor's just he looks like a ghost. He's white all over. You can't see any features on him. But as you try to focus on it, you can't tell if it's white or black, because every time that you blink, it seems to shift. So like you look at him and he's a silhouette of white with a black glow, and then you blink and then it reverses. So then he's a black silhouette with a white glow, and then you blink again, it's back.
So he's
and it's-
depressed.
And you're blinking a lot. Nice.
You then look at Fex, and Fex is the most grounded of them all. There's just a warmth about him, just a warm yellow glow, almost an orange about him. But you see him, and he's old. He's much older than you. He gives off the feeling of and then you kind of think and you're like, yeah, and you finally put your finger on it. He gives off the same feeling as Yokeg before he was reborn. He's not old or young, but he feels old to you. The lines seem more defined in him. He looks like he's seen too much for what he should be for his age. And right as it begins to fade, this is only a few seconds, maybe a minute of time. You look at yourself, you hold up your gauntleted hand, and you see electric running through your veins, almost like you took a mag light and you put it behind your hand so you can see all the like your skin glow orange and all the bones and veins glow black, except for it's black against blue, and you can see your veins and bones crackling with energy underneath your gauntlet. You hold out your hands and you just trip on this, and slowly it fades until you see your adamantine armor once more.
I don't get a cool aspect? Fuck.
You don't have magic, my amigo.
You don't have magic.
I don't know. This really sounds like he's on like 6 tabs of LSD.
Magic LSD.
Yeah.
Ellis shrooms.
And I would like to walk up to Thorgil, just kind of like, "Are you okay? Oi,
Yeah, are his
Thorgil."
pupils huge? Can we tell that he's done
He's
this?
just
We notice
standing
he-
there blinking at us.
Yeah, we know he's high. He's just been blinking
No,
at
like
us for
I've
the
been
past 20
I've been
minutes.
explaining everything. I've been running my mouth like Beavis.
It's been like 25 minutes and he's just staring at the back of his hand.
You know it's bad when he's talking like Beavis.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
really,
his
I mean,
eyes-
like all of this that Thorgil said was only a few minutes. Because he did roll a very high constitution. His body resisted a majority of this.
So wait, this could last for hours?
Oh yeah.
Holy shit!
If it's
that's
magic
terrifying.
LSD, it could last 12 hours.
That would be terrifying.
Anyone else want to take some?
Like a month.
Let's not take the magical space drugs.
Tell you what, Thorgil, can you roll me an Arcana check? Real quick?
Wait,
Okay,
Thorgil
just-
Arcana? What?
Yeah.
Like, well,
You're not sure, but you're fairly sure that what you just saw was the flows and ebbs of magic itself in your world.
I would like to suggest that aloud, where Phoebus can hear, because I think that would be something he'd be interested in.
Oh, it totally.
Phoebus grabs a handful and begins slicing.
I don't know why you're joking, because I want to take a bunch of these. Not like take, but like possess.
Either way, we'll deal with these
Grab
later.
and study.
Yeah, have I ever heard of this drug before? Something that allows you to see magic?
Arcana check.
Malcolm's very disappointed. You guys are way too
Actually, I lied.
drugs.
It would be a history check. This would be something you would have read.
Doesn't he
Oh,
have?
duh,
Is it the
yeah.
same? I mean, seriously, like you
You've
have
never heard of it.
proficiency, like
Then I want to take like 3 fistfuls and dump them in my bag of holding.
alright, whatever. We'll deal with these later if Thorgil is okay. Alright.
I
So-
feel
Yeah, Thorgil, you
fine.
feel
What are you
fine.
talking about? That was great.
So should I just add like magic LSD to my
I feel like my
inventory list?
eyes have been opened, man.
Yes.
Oh, God.
Yes, you should. Magic LSD.
I don't know if
Thorgil, you say that you're fine, and then you begin to cough, and you cough out what seems like congealed blood into your gauntlet, and you take 2 damage.
Oh.
Beebus is not so enthralled with this
Oh,
anymore.
fine.
Well, I don't know if I saw that.
Too busy stuffing things into your bag.
Yeah, I have like a lot of this stuff now.
Drug-
Interesting.
Drugs are bad, okay?
Not to Phoebus. I was raised rich. I don't understand consequences.
That explains a lot.
Yeah. You guys remember I was literally raised as royalty of one of the richest cities in this entire
true.
world.
It's true. He got to do whatever he wanted.
Yeah.
Money solves all problems.
Yeah, especially if you're a gnome.
Alright, well, let's not worry about this now. So, we've got, what, at most a couple of days before the other ship just takes off, or what, they come back?
Xanath looks over and he goes, probably 3 or 4 days before they leave without us. At
Alright,
that point, they figure that we were caught by the authorities.
fair enough.
I mean, that's fine, right? We just need to wait for your stuff and talk to the dwarf lady.
What was your game plan, just, from here on out before we showed up?
The captain and his crew would show up and we'd leave.
Good
You
thing
didn't-
we're not cops, huh?
You didn't know where we were going, or...
That's the captain's.
Fair enough, I wasn't sure if you were privy to that.
So their plan hasn't changed at all because the captain and his crew showed up. And they're gonna leave.
Sorry.
Pretty much.
Right. Well, we've got some business to take care of that'll still take us probably about another day.
They nod and they say, "Are we in any danger of leaving? Like, is this an expeditious leaving or a
We don't currently plan on causing any trouble just yet, so it should be fine.
He nods
Should
and he
be
goes,
fine.
"Okay. Then there's no problem if I give the men another night out about the town."
That seems alright with me. Thorgil, what do you think?
Yeah, let him party.
How, well,
He nods and then he looks at you and he goes, "Captain, would you care to tell the crew they have another free night?"
I'd be glad to. Thorgil, do you have thaumaturgy, by the way?
I do.
Yes, I do. I can make your voice bigger.
Sweet.
Voice bigger.
So you saunter out. You see that Gnarl unlocks the deadbolt in the door, pulls it open for you. Thorgil, you cast the thaumaturgy, and you feel a crackling in your throat as you step out onto the deck.
Before
What do you say?
leave, I ask you, do you want to be scary or like handsome? Because I could give you some straight up Blackbeard, like smoke coming out of your beard with minor illusion.
On a lizard.
He's a lizard. He doesn't have a beard.
Well, it doesn't matter. I'm saying I can do something carrier.
There's a
Smoke
difference
coming out of
between the
his
man
nose.
and the legend.
Yeah. I can give you a beard with minor illusion.
let's not for right now. Maybe at a later date. But for right now, Riley would like to walk out the door, clap his hands, and say, "Ladies and gentlemen, and those of you that qualify as whatever else you feel like, this is your captain speaking, and you guys get another night out for the time being. So enjoy."
Oh,
You're driving it for me.
Yeah. Like a couple of them are kind of like what? Wait, what? And then they see that standing behind you are Xanath and Gnarl, and like a couple of them be like, "Is this for real?" And then like you see like the rest of you see the two of them kind of be like yeah, this is the real deal. And then slowly a couple of them like start cheering. And then, like, as it starts, like, making its way down deck, you begin hearing a cheering down deck. A large cheering. And then just suddenly you're... as, like, feet come pouring out of the deck and running down the gangplank out into the bars of the Dwarven City.
Alrighty.
Don't make a lot of trouble. Hopefully.
If not, it'll just be interesting for us.
Okay. So the crew has a night out on the town. Xanath and Gnarl, they inform you that they will watch over the ship as well as a few selected persons that have decided to stay behind.
Riley forgot one thing. Riley would then, Xanath, Gnarl, I forgot one very important member of our party here. This is Rocky.
He's your captain now.
Yep, he's the real captain. No. So please treat
Rocky
him with
puts
whatever.
on a proud performance, a Napoleonic look, hand on his fur, kind of moment.
Don't worry, he doesn't bite too much. Usually he's pretty friendly.
They both kind of like just shrug at each other, like parrot or a flying squirrel, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's instead of person and boat, it's lizard and mammal.
Yeah. They both nod and they're like, "Sure, Captain, whatever."
Hierarchy.
Okay. Alright, so what
Do
all
you
do we
have
need?
some unfinished business before you all set sail?
Yeah, I've got some
Yeah.
stuff that I requested and it won't be ready for another day, so.
Yeah, I don't really want to roleplay it, but if I ask Gnarl, like, have any of the crew been overly eager in the slaving? Like, anybody done any particular brutalizing or, like, been too into it? What do I get?
The two of them, they nod and they go, 2 or 3 of them could probably not return to the ship.
Yeah, I don't want
We'll
that.
make sure that when they return from the bars that they get a slight stipend and are told not to board again.
That's fine on her part, but I do actually want to pay the Shade Merchants to kill those people.
Whoa!
Well, we have a person there. So you can just do it directly.
Where's the coin? And they're gone.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. Wait,
Yeah.
no, I do need to ask you, John. It's my understanding that the Shade Merchants are semi-legitimate, and if I pay someone who is truly evil to be murdered, like, it won't change my alignment, or... I'm asking which of these crew members are straight up full-blown evil. Like, who
So crew
would
members
translate?
that do this kind of thing, at least as far as this ship is concerned, are probably chaotic evil.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering.
And essentially you're asking for the 3 to 4 of the chaotic evil members of the ship to be killed off.
Yeah, like the ones that are straight up, like, horribly monsterish.
That is evil.
For me to do?
Yes.
Okay.
Because the appropriate thing to do would be to seek authority, or to at least do it yourselves to give them a chance for redemption, etc., etc.
Instigate them into actually attacking you so you don't feel bad jibbing them.
Can I pay more to have the Shade Merchants frame them for something?
Yes.
I'll do
That
that.
is
Okay, I'll do
something
that.
good.
That's more Beavis.
You should pay me to do it.
Yeah, Valium. How much would it cost to have them framed for something heinous?
How many are we talking about here?
Value. This is pretty simple. You're probably guessing about 10 gold apiece.
Oh yeah,
Perfect.
that's fine. Okay, so do I pay Valium directly?
Yeah, because
Okay,
Valium
you
is
have 40
basically
gold
going
then,
to be
mate.
the one that sets up the framing.
How long is it gonna take?
A few hours.
Okay. Wow.
Because I mean, this is easy. I mean, basically, you just need to plan a couple shade
Oh
merchants.
god, that's great. Oh.
I maybe knowing Valium, I would specify don't actually commit the crimes you're framing them for. Does that cost extra? Do I need to give you extra gold to not murder people? But no, I
No.
did just take 40 gold off of my total, so you can add that
Yeah.
to yours unless it costs. I don't know if it costs anything to you.
Valium, you pocket 20 gold of that, and you go back to the temple, and you find a few associates, lower ranking members, and you pay them out. So of that 40 gold,
I keep 20. Okay.
you keep about half of it.
Oh, I forgot to ask.
Basically, you're brokering the deals to frame them for such.
Can I not?
He
What
wants
do you
to, he wants to DIY.
You wanna do it all yourself?
Oh, I don't know how.
It's gonna require some creativity on your part. Are you capable of that?
Because realistically, what you're looking at this point, let me John to Nate, you can just kill them in dark alleyways, and
Yeah,
Beavis will
would
not
never
be the
know.
wiser. If you want to keep all the gold.
Hang on, check your Skype in a second.
Oh, okay.
You know you can use /whisper on the
Yeah, that's the better way.
because his Skype is perma-muted.
It's I'm perma-maxed on the Windows
okay.
and everything.
So just do /w
do
space
slash
GM
W and then
space GM.
GM and it'll go right to me.
Okay.
Well, he's-
Capital or lowercase?
It doesn't matter. I don't.
You'll
wait,
see
hold
that
on.
it kind of gets
it'll
slowed
autofill. This
Yeah,
is
it'll
drop.
autofill.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah. So like Riley just sent me a message called bacon.
I use it
Okay.
a lot. That's how I knew that Balkan wasn't going to let me stand on his shoulders to intimidate the crew.
Yeah. I really wanted it though, by the way, but my character.
No,
was-
you handled that right. That's the most in character way. I should have rolled for that.
I really wish you had rolled higher. Yeah, because that would be.
I should have asked
great.
Riley because his character totally would have let me stand on his shoulders.
Yeah. Does it seem interesting and creative?
Yeah.
I can make this work. Versi. What do they have? Is the ship flying a flag?
Not the current point in time. Because it's in port.
Okay, I wasn't sure if they were constantly flying it or not.
Only when you're out at sea do you fly a flag.
I mean, some people are unreasonable.
You should
Well, there's no breeze to properly fly it in here.
You act like we're in a mountain or something.
Imagine that.
Under a mountain.
No,
I
we're
want to
inside
hear
of a mountain.
Jester.
Okay.
It's got to be a game.
So you all, I assume, return to Genlin?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I guess. Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
So you all do so. She is a little bit wary. The door opens this time with her kind of poking out. She sees you all and goes, "Oh, back so soon." And she kind of takes a better look at you all and she goes, "Looks like you all had a bit of trouble there."
Nonsense. It was a great time.
So everything's taken care of?
See?
She nods and she
They've
goes,
seen the error of their ways.
She nods. She says, "Come in. Be happy to take you in. I have a small gift for y'all. Nothing particularly extravagant, but I figure you all would enjoy what I have." And as you all come in, you see that there's a full spread table in the kitchen to feed you all. It is what is essentially breakfast at this point, as far as travel goes, because I mean, like you all haven't slept in a really long time, so you're kind of a little bit tired. We're not going to talk about fatigue rules for the most part at this point, because realistically, it just doesn't matter. And you see that there's a large spread of biscuits and gravy, waffles, bacon, sausages. You see that there's some kind of what you could only guess to be a waffle taco with steak in it.
All right, Taco Bell.
Yeah,
Yeah, right?
What?
See-
You act
see,
like
they-
you have
they need to
experience with that,
hire
Nate.
me. They need to hire me for that, because that's the way you do it. Is you do some waffles with steak and syrup.
the fact that they got rid of the naked chicken enchilada proves to me that they have no idea how to run a business.
I don't know. The fries are pretty fucking delicious.
Yeah, Jess had those earlier.
Are they? I haven't tried them yet.
They're fucking amazing.
I
They've
haven't
been
been
out
talking
for like
to
3 days.
Advertising at their finest. Okay.
Anyways, but yeah, you have a full spread breakfast. Everything is fairly greasy and meaty, as is proper dwarven culture, and you enjoy yourselves thoroughly. She, as final thanks, she places into your hands a small bag of what you can gather to be coins.
Sweet.
But as you open them, you figure that she was going to give like lower end coins, and you see that they're all gold coins. She gives you 60 gold coins, which is basically a person's life savings in quantity for people not of.
Yeah. I think Welcome refused. They go like, the children
Yeah,
need this.
Beavis has to give his share right back.
Yep.
Wait.
Wait, did you say yup, Nate? Is Valium giving her share back?
Yep.
What?
I care about the children, okay?
Okay. No, character development. I'm assuming, John, that you are ticking off an RP
Yeah, that's weird.
point for him.
I care
Yeah,
about
it's
the
slowly
children.
going in the good direction.
Yeah.
I also
Long
know
way to
Nate's
go.
backstory better than all of you too.
Oh,
is true.
okay. Yeah, that's
Okay.
fair, because I had no clue that that would happen.
Yeah, I know Nate's story almost as good as Nate does, if not
Yep.
better, because I've
Yeah,
actually
'cause it
fleshed
makes
out his
Perfect
story.
sense for Valken and Beavis to give the money back, but I
Right.
did not picture that happening.
Riley
Yeah.
gives his
Yeah.
back too, so it's not a.
So let me
Same
rephrase
with
that. Does
me.
anyone not give their portion?
Well,
Cleric.
Honestly, it's reasonable if he takes it. It's It
Yeah.
is Balar. Like,
if
Yeah, you don't
everybody
need
does
to
it,
give
I
back. The rest of us
feel
give it
pretty pressured.
back.
Yeah, you're basically peer pressured. You're the only one that wouldn't.
Keeping it.
Okay, you're keeping it. All right.
Thank you.
So
Vulcan glares at you a little bit. But...
yeah, so I think just to make it appropriate, like you're the
money.
one that opens it, and you're like, huh, wow, gold. And as you say that, you kind of like you like pocket a couple, and you're like, hey guys, like, there's gold in here, and
Right.
everyone's like, give it back, and you're like, no problem, and you slip it shut and hand it back to her.
Works for me.
But yeah, you donate it back. She nods and she kind of smiles a grandmotherly smile at you all, kind of realizing, yeah, that's probably what she expected to happen, but it was only appropriate to try anyway.
This is like two Italian men trying to pay for dinner, basically.
Oh god, yeah.
Yeah,
wow.
that kind of thing. See, that's why I like Irish families. It's like there's only like a back and forth. It's like, I got dinner. It's like, you sure? And it's like, yes. And it's like, done. You know, like,
Yeah, no, the
there's-
Italians will be there for another 35 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's not it's not quick.
So yeah, and then you go ahead and you leave. Nate, I assume that a certain someone is rolling a stealth check.
Oh, of course.
Sure. Thorgil, what's your passive perception?
Not that high.
16. So he just
Oh,
barely
How
passes.
the fuck is your passive perception?
He's got like
16?
20 wisdom, dude.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
wisdom is the major modifier. That's why I know, like, Thorgil is the only person that would notice.
Mine's 11.
Valium.
Hold on. Does having
Yeah.
advantage on it add to passive wisdom at all?
No,
You-
because it's passive.
You have to have a.
Advantage is an active wisdom check.
But there is a feat that makes your passive perception
Okay.
like plus 10.
Alertness. Yeah.
Yeah, and technically I should have rolled that with advantage because of my cloak.
I'll roll it again just for fucks.
Nat 20.
Yeah, there. Boom,
Not
problem
yet.
solved.
Just gonna throw that out there.
So Valium. What's the plan? Because you're basically you're kind of around like 6-7 a.m. at this point.
Right. So she's alone. I'm gonna
Kid-
wait.
A few of the kids are awake, but she not like. I mean, she's pretty alone.
Right. Okay. I'm gonna wait till she's in a back room.
Okay.
Like no children nearby.
Uh-huh.
No children. And then I'm gonna just kind of approach, be like, "Sorry, I have to do this, but your children will be taken care of," and then kind of just stab.
Okay. I need an investigation check to plan out the murder.
Oh, motherfucker!
Ha! He has no intelligence.
Losing my mind. Who are you killing right now? I don't know how I missed this.
The Genlin,
The
the lady who
Genlin.
who we just returned money to.
Yeah.
How?
Okay.
Okay.
So you succeed, but a
Oh,
kid
good.
sees you do it.
Fuck!
Anybody else seen him breathe?
So you catch her throwing out dirty water. She's cleaning up after the feast that she gave you all, and she's tossing water down what seems to be some kind of gutter, like sewage gutter. And you slip in as the doors open. You basically catch the lip of the window above. You slip in over her head, and you turn and you say, "I'm so sorry, I have to do this." And you cut down straight into the back of her neck, into her spine with your dagger, killing her instantly. But then you hear a clanging of pots and pans behind you as one of the other children walks in with dirty dishes that she was supposed to like clean next, and sees you slay the only person that she cares about and loves in this world in front of her.
God damn it! Now I'm stuck in a moral conundrum. I'm fighting me versus my character.
Right, because this is your character.
I know. And
Like I said, I know your character better than almost anyone.
my human brain is like really on fuck.
Kill the kid.
Yeah, but it also plays into my storyline.
Right? I know. Bitch, do you think I really wasn't gonna fuck you with your
I
storyline?
know.
You're making it so hard not to get metagame.
No.
This is the first time you've done anything. You know what I mean?
Well, this is all without you guys knowing it.
Yeah, I know. I'm not gonna act on it. I'm just saying it's hard for me to pretend like I haven't seen it.
Then take off your headset.
Yeah, I wish I had.
Mute yourself.
I don't think it would have been a bad thing if you had warned us and I had like left the room.
I don't do a Matt Mercer. I don't feel that it's appropriate. I feel that I'll let Nate think about what he wants to do while I talk
Yeah.
about this.
Please, give me a minute to figure out what the hell I'm gonna do right now.
So Matt Mercer, with Critical Role, he does this really cool thing where like he does whispers, where like he'll like literally get up from the table and he'll run over to a person and like whisper in their ear what they're doing. But that's like a real life situation. I've seen other DMs where they play online where they have everyone take off their headset so they can't hear except for the person that.
You listen to
like,
Dungeons and
part of-
Dragons, right? Or Drunks and Dragons?
Like Drunken Dragons does.
Yeah, they do that.
Other groups do it too. What's the other one? Adventure Zone does it that way too, where he'll like have everyone take off their headsets. But I feel that it's important for everyone to hear the development of characters' stories, even if it's against it. So because like I trust you all to play your characters appropriately, and therefore I don't see a reason that I should hide things from you all. And so like the case of like what's happening with like Nate and his decisions is important to the character, and it's important for you guys to see the development of that character, so that when Nate eventually has a story where he goes against his character, you all recognize how important and influential that moment is to it, and give Nate the props that is due. So in this case, his character is very heavily involved in the concept of killing children, or the not killing of children. And
That makes sense.
Or the
but-
convincing of children to
so-
kill themselves.
so Valium is currently going to have to deal with, what do I do in this situation? And we're about to find out. So Nate, what do you do? There's a female dwarf child in front of you. She just dropped a number of plates and a pot of gravy onto the wooden floor.
Hand her a knife.
Her hands are covered in the blood of the only person she cared about.
How
What do you
long
do?
would it take me to put together a forgetting potion from a poisoner's kit?
Hours.
Fuck.
Should have come up with that ahead of time.
I mean, you can control and kidnap a kid.
Oh! I forgot I have lizard slime. I could get her so fucking hammered she doesn't remember.
Okay, you're asking us to metagame that we don't understand that your character got a child blackout. Like,
We're not there. We're not
So
there.
here's the
I
thing,
know,
though,
we're,
Nate.
we're not gonna do it. but
You're
damn.
assuming that she's gonna forget it just by getting her drunk.
Fuck it. I grab her and I stab her.
Okay.
You gonna
roll me a single attack roll.
miss?
Wow.
It's good enough for a child.
Okay, good. God, that
Children-
sounds weird.
Children have negative stats on
I
most
don't,
things
I
because they're
don't
not
like
being
saying, oh good, I just stabbed you with a 9.
You said
it's not clean though. Like she goes and she bolts, like to like run down the stairs towards the door, and you catch her on the stairs, and you just hook one of your blades around her throat as she runs down the stairs, and you crash into the balcony, and as you crash, she collides with the blade, and you slit her windpipe with the blade, and she tumbles down the stairs. The moment that you see that you can feel that impact, you know what it feels like to cut through the cartilage of an esophagus. You bolt back for that door. A number of kids are waking up at this point, and you duck out of the window. You slide out down the grating and back to the group before they notice.
I'm gonna slightly tweak that.
Sure.
I'm going to take 60 of my platinum things and leave that in the donation box.
Okay. You can do that with
Wow.
the church. We'll say that's a little bit later. You revisit the Nala church and you say, I need you to deliver this to this location.
Yeah, because
Okay.
we just give us 60 platinum to a bunch of kids.
Or another
Like,
location. I mean, technically that'd probably be like Feta. You could actually...
It'd be
you know
for
what?
the children's
Let's
fund, whatever you want to
retcon
call it.
If you're good with it, let's retcon it. When you were all in Feta, on the Church of Feta, giving the 2 prisoners to the Church of Feta to like make them work back their misdeeds, you put a large pouch of money into
Got
the
it.
donation with a name to a heritage, basically kind of thing, previously knowing what you were going to do.
Okay, I'm cool with that.
I think that's a better way to kind of run it out. An anonymous donation of sorts.
Yep.
So you all return to the ship, and except for Riley, I think you're probably waiting for your craftsman stuff to be done.
Yeah. Grab a.
That'll be done around noon-ish.
Well, should probably head back to the ship anyway. Take account of what we have on board before leaving. Anyway, right?
Sure.
it might be good to know what's on the boat.
So you all should have access to the ship dock. I think I gave it all to you. Let me just rename that to.
Yeah.
Go. You should be able to have access to the straight and narrow. One of the things you have is.
I appreciate your spelling of straight.
Yep.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
The. And you have all found. Okay.
No.
So this is your ship. It is the straight and narrow. Is technically falls under the ship type of a junk. Obviously, you can see all the stats for it. The ship has 2 ballistas on it. The ballistas can fire 120 feet. They do 3d8 damage, piercing damage to a ship. The improvements that your ship has is it has the smuggling compartments, which are the compartments that you found the crystals, within, as well as a broad rudder, which allows the piloting to be a little bit better than usual.
Yeah, that seemed like the clearly best improvement to buy. We gotta buy a trebuchet though. How much can we can have 2 heavy on each side or 3 light? Does that mean we can have like 1 light and a heavy on each side, or?
What's that?
If it says 3 light or 2 heavy, could we have like 1 light and a heavy on each side?
Yes. So it's technically larges and heavies for size, but yes, if you wanted, the difference is that you could have 3 larges or 2 heavies, or technically 1 large, 1 heavy on each side.
So we should really try and get like a ballista and a trebuchet on each side for that 60-10.
Yes and no. Either way.
Anonymous Python.
Riley wants cannon still.
Yeah, but nobody sells cannons.
Yeah, we have to figure out how to build those first.
So Riley's gonna need to buy some
Yeah,
equipment
that's
then.
fine.
We need to figure out a plan first. We need to figure out exactly what our plan is, because Riley bought a bunch of maps so we can navigate the area, and we need to figure out how to set up a trade route so that we can constantly make money.
So it is 10:30. How about we call it here before the ship sets sail, and we can retcon things that you guys may have purchased before leaving, which will be a discussion for you all over the week.
Okay.
Does that sound good?
Works for me. Then we don't have to bore all of the people all the time.
Exactly, with all the shopping, because that's the most boring fucking part of like any storyline is like when everybody goes shopping. That's why I try to just be like, send me a list. What do you want? Here's what it costs. It happens. Things done. Yay. You know.
Alright, we'll get
So,
it. We'll
is that good for everyone? That we'll call it a wrap for the night, and we'll set sail on the beginning of next weekend.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Thorgil had some like drunk games to handle, and you know.
So Nate, how many platinum did you put into that box?
6-0.
You realize that's 600 gold.
Yes.
Okay, just check.
I'm
Not make
aware
sure
of
you-
the value. Yes.
Okay,
So
knock
that's
that
enough
off
to
your.
hire like some serious like security and like constant care for these children.
Oh no, it's damn good money.
Yes.
But
Other
that's-
than the one that was brutally and painfully and terrifyingly murdered.
It wasn't painful. It was very fast.
No, it knew
Okay.
it was coming.
Nate, of all the people that I think in this room that understand that the death of drowning in your own blood goes, that was not a good murder.
It wasn't
great. But it's not like I stabbed him in the pinky toe 100,000 times till they bled out.
Okay. There's really no way that our party will ever figure this out, but you know if our party ever figures this out, like, Valium is gone.
I'm aware of this fact.
Okay. As long as you, Nate, are okay with that idea and
Oh, yeah. Like, I'm aware if, like, that's why I said, hey, let me frame her. There's a reason why I chose this.
Okay.
Yeah. So Nate, your thing, you can send it to me in a message or we'll play it out next week. Is you need to tell me how you're planning on framing those people, because that murder did not go how you wanted it to. So yeah, you gave the donation, but you also have to tell me how you framed them.
Oh, shit. So Beavis kind of set this in motion. I am just realizing that.
Oh, 100% you set this up.
Oh, no. I was
100%.
totally zoned out.
Yeah, he literally messaged, his whisper was, I'm totally doing what Beavis said. I'm framing these fuckers for the
But
murder.
Beavis I did say before you left, don't actually commit the crimes you're framing them of. So you went against
but I'm a
my
shade
wishes.
merchant, so...
Yeah,
Yeah, it
that's
doesn't mean
fine.
he's
I'm just
going
saying
to.
you
He's
went
chaotic
against my
evil.
wishes.
Like, of course
Like,
he's gonna
Yeah.
go back
This
on
isn't
that.
like a genie where you interpreted my wish with a loophole. Like, you straight up went against what I asked for.
I'm also chaotic evil, and a shade
Yeah, no,
merchant,
it's
and an
fine. Yeah,
assassin.
I, Steven, am not upset, but Beavis would be furious.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Beavis would lose his shit right
Yeah.
now.
Just
Yeah.
fireballs
Yeah, that fireball
everywhere.
at the church that you almost killed me with, I'm imagining that times 10.
Yeah. Okay.
Every time you frame a person, you're like, Beavis almost killed me with a fireball.
Oh dear.
I would be super petty at that point.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
I do love the dynamic, though. Let me just say, I love that we've now officially reached the point where you all are now cashing in on other people's reputations with certain orders to get stuff done. Like with Thorgil using his sway in the church to get them to kind of do something they probably wouldn't do, and then Beavis going to Valium and being like, I have a problem and I need you to solve it.
Not that way.
Like-
but yes.
Yeah,
Well, I mean,
it just helped my cause.
Yeah, as
So
far
you
as
did.
I'm concerned, I'm happy. Like, I know they go to prison.
but the thing about that is, and the reason I enjoy it is an admission of understanding as to the persons that you're traveling with. That
Oh, wait.
that Beavis basically literally recognizes that Valium is chaotic evil, but
Yeah.
the value of Valium being in the group far exceeds the evil nature of the character, and actually now can be very useful.
Well, no, up until now, Beavis has assumed there was some kind of like thieves' honor, where like if she said she would do this for this money, she would do just that.
And honestly, he still does.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. But I don't understand how. As soon as I realized that they're in jail for the murder of Jenlyn Flipball and she actually dies, wouldn't I know?
But you won't be around long enough for that to happen. A murder investigation, it's gonna take the day, and then by the time you guys hear it, it's gonna be like, I mean, you'll be
Yeah.
out of the city before any.
But essentially, if we ever come back to Hodai,
You'd have to be back, and then you'd go to visit, and like you'd knock on the door, and like a different person would answer, and you're like, who are you?
It solved my problem. I figured it out. I returned Beavis's gold saying I couldn't find them. They've been captured.
Oh, that would work. Beavis is easy to trick. Like, if you just were like, oh no, they actually killed somebody before I got to them.
Yep.
Yeah, that would work.
There's gonna be some rolls, to be fair. But yes,
well,
that is
can't
super
I waive
hilarious.
those? Because that would straight up trick Beavis.
That would work on Beavis so hard.
Can I just say I fail? Because that would
Yeah,
definitely
you
work.
can say that. I mean, because really, it's you only roll if you question it.
No, because Beavis is totally convinced he's in this like adventure novel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's real good. I just took
Yeah,
my-
that would trick Beavis. He would not roll.
So I do want to say I do want to play that out, at least like role play wise, because I think it'd
Yeah.
be very interesting. But basically, at the points where it'd be like Beavis roll, you can be like,
Nope.
Yeah, no, I don't think I've made it a secret. Like Beavis is convinced
Yeah, no,
he's
you-
a character in a novel.
everyone knows
and-
that you're like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
yeah,
no,
I would
it's so
say
good.
those.
Oh,
What a
too chaotic
fantastic
to
turn
go
of
far.
events.
ever so slowly, Nate gets more into the role play as we make it more about murder.
It's only taken, what, 18 months?
Yeah, right?
But you haven't given me the option to murder people randomly.
We started
It's
off in
always-
an evil campaign!
You always kept slapping my hand down when I wanted to murder
Yeah,
people.
well, to be fair, that was Kiro that's constantly.
Yeah, I
hot
never
box.
got to just straight up just go punch.
And your
murder.
USB penis.
Yeah, it's true. I still wanted to kill somebody with that, but
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Was I there for the USB?
No.
penis?
No.
Don't
That was
reflect
that was
on
when I showed up.
it. Okay.
Yeah.
to massacre?
That was way early on in our game.
That was just
Yeah, but I
after.
was there for the early stages of Fantasy Age, but nothing about.
right.
Yeah, that was.
So one of the things that we did, which you guys technically did, but we didn't spend a lot of time on it, was every time a story arc comes to end, I say, hey guys, are you still having fun? Like, do you want to change like rule sets? Do you want to change the story, etc., etc.? But like with this, like I was kind of like, hey guys, you having fun? Like, you still want to keep going? And everyone's like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, then we'll just keep going. But like with them, like they played like in a hero campaign where they all played like super villains.
Oh,
And
we talked about that. Yeah.
And then they went into the fantasy age, which was my use of the fantasy age system to build this post-apocalyptic, devil, chaotic.
I love
Trip 6 is the
Fantasy Age.
first night.
And that's
It's
why.
some
And then
of the
you
most
came
fun I've
in.
ever had
You
is
came in for
killing,
that. Then we did Cipher System for the
Yeah.
Warhammer 40k, which I actually got a random comment on one of the videos the other day about that, calling me that guy from the Scrubs. What's the white guy where there's like that bromance between the black guy and the white guy?
JD.
Yeah, JD.
Yeah. Apparently, I look like him.
I tilt my head sideways and squint a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
You got-
Honestly,
you
see,
gotta go.
There are definitely worse people to look like.
Yeah. But apparently, he gave a timestamp and everything. He's like 2 minutes 37 seconds. This guy looks like so and so, and I was like, the fuck who? I've heard it a number of times. I've actually had like 7 or 8 videos where like different people have called me that. So apparently, I look somewhat like that guy, that actor. But yeah, but luckily, as I expected, Dungeons and Dragons is one of those that really stands the test of time, the interest of players to go the long run. Once we do finish this one, I'll just give you guys a heads up. I really want to do a World of Darkness.
Oh no.
That's
I really love the D&D rules. Like, I think they're kind of like the gold standard for RPG.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I had a lot of fun in Fantasy Age. Cipher was really cool. There's definitely room to grow. Yeah.
Yeah, no, there's very good systems out there. It's just it's I mean, but the thing is really it's about how well do you know a system and how well do the players are quickly able to learn the system. Dungeons and Dragons is easy,
Yeah.
you know.
And it's robust.
I don't
so
know, I abused the
the
shit out of
end.
my sniper.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
did.
Cipher system was pretty easy for you all. I think that was I think we had a really good run with that one, but I think the storyline just kind of really fit a good ending there too.
Yeah.
But I really want to do a World of Darkness because everything is D10s just straight across the board, and that's the one I have the most knowledge of. I've run I think I'm running on like 15 years of DM experience now, but I have like a decade of World of Darkness DM experience comparative to like across the board. Like Dungeons and Dragons is like 5 years, but like World of Darkness, that's my jam. I have done so much World of Darkness, it's insane. And I think that's the one that Steven, like when I was first like getting you involved, I was running that other group. Like that's the world I know. Like it's intrigue and deception. And,
Yeah, that's a definitely good setting. Because if I had to pick a favorite, I might still pick Fantasy Age. Like screwing with those birds and ruining fun, stabbing through walls, like blowing up that spider and killing the demon that killed my family. Like that was a really good campaign. That was awesome.
But I think World of Darkness would be a little bit better for that because like the Fantasy Age setting was very World of Darkness storyline written. That's why I was able to do so well because it was modern world with modern world with this, and that's
Is that
what
kind of what World of Darkness is?
it's modern world, but vampires, werewolves, wizards, and etc.
Oh, so you could run a
So
Dresden.
like like Harry Dresden.
Yeah,
Think Harry Dresden,
but darker.
where there's like this underlining like supernatural world beneath everything.
Yeah, I'm definitely all about that. That'd be cool.
But it's kind of a weird system. A lot of people don't like it, but I've done really well with it. I've had a good time with it. So
Couldn't we do like most weeks we do D&D, but like 1 week out of the month we do?
yeah, we could totally do something like that. We'll have to talk about it. I mean, normally what we've done is that the off weeks, the weeks that I can't do, I kind of look to Cloric to kind of fill in that with his own storylines.
That bounty hunter thing was fun.
I am working on something else.
I still want to turn in all those hands that I collected as my druid. 'Cause
Oh.
I thought that was fucking
Yeah.
hilarious.
I
Between
really-
you and
I
me,
think you
like,
would.
how many hands did we have?
It's like 30 something. I wrote it in my character sheet. Like I was not willing to let that go. Like I collected all the hands. But yeah, it was one of those weird things. But like, those are fun. Yeah, we could totally do something like that. I mean, it's now that we started Thorgil's story, I don't want to pause it.
No,
but like
I like
between
I
a storyline, I'd be a-okay like just running like like let's say like 5 or 6 sessions of a World of Darkness story, and let you guys like just play in that rule set, let you play it and see if you like it, and then we'll just go right back into the world.
Alright guys, hope you had fun and we'll catch you next time.